Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 295 up in this piece, and if you can't tell, I'm holding back a little bit.
I was gonna say we know.
Who did you?
Yeah, we know what it is, but we don't know where you is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Guess what? You get to start it off, bro.
Oh, I am in the. I found this floor yesterday in the contemporary Walt Disney World Resort.
Which one's the contemporary? For those of us who don't go like every 2 minutes, which one's the contemporary?
The contemporary is the one that's right next to Magic Kingdom. It looks like a big A.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
And so you, it's the one where you always see the monorail going through the hotel. They always show clips of that on television. That's this hotel.
Yes.
And so I was stressing out. I was texting these guys. I was like, I don't know where I'm going to do the podcast because, you know, we're all crammed in one room and, you know, there's no balcony. The bathroom won't work because we're going to be doing it at night and I'll wake up the kids. And then I was walking Amara to get some food and I found this whole floor of ballrooms.
Oh, look at you.
And conference rooms.
Yes.
And I was like, ooh.
Perfect.
Well, you know what's funny? I never even checked to see if they were locked, but I'm guessing the ballrooms are locked.
Yeah, probably.
And so I'm out like in the hallway area. There's a bunch of couches and tables set up.
Oh, great.
But nothing high enough to put my mic on.
Oh, no.
So I'm sitting on the floor with my mic and everything on like an ottoman.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's
awesome.
It's struggle city up in here.
Dude,
Oh, wow.
I love
Look
it.
at that.
I love this dedication. 295 episodes straight, not missing anything, on the floor at the Contemporary in some ballroom hallway. I love this. This is brilliant.
This is how we're doing it. I'm taking a picture right now. Hold on a second.
Okay.
Oh, awesome. So excited right now.
And so, by the way, I don't know if I mentioned, but this is Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Chris McCracken, Ed Placencia, of course, and as always, we're talking games and life and games. Thank you guys for being here. I'm barely here.
Yeah, you're there. You're here, man. You're here in spirit.
You're here
always.
enough.
Yeah, you're here enough. You showed up.
I feel crazy right now. Like, it's so echoey in here.
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's like an escalator, like, you know, I don't even know, 50 yards from me where people
Mickey walks by, tell him I said hi.
I'm just trying to make sure the police don't walk by.
Disney security are coming.
Exactly. It's like I'm not doing anything wrong. It just feels wrong.
Yeah.
If that
Right,
makes any
right.
sense.
Well, that was with me when I was at poolside at night, being
but
that
that's like
creepy guy in
outside.
the corner. Yeah, but still,
That's still weird. It's like midnight and you're over there.
I felt really. I felt like a creeper. Definitely, I totally felt like a creeper that day. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, there's these teenage kids that are on the other side of this pool, and I'm just sitting over here like video games.
Exactly. Yeah.
And brother, how's it going, man? Tell me all. I'm dying to know how the kids did with the surprise and just get us all caught up.
Yeah, how'd it go?
So yeah, Amara was very surprised. Of course, they usually never live up to the thing that you picture in your head, like, oh, and then her head's gonna explode, and we'll go to Disney with only 2 kids. So that didn't happen. And but she was like extremely excited. We didn't tell her till we got to the airport. And so,
Oh, very nice.
You know, the whole story was we're dropping off Daddy, and Daddy's got to go do a show with Uncle Toby, and blah, 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 blah. And so
Did she notice that you guys were packing things for her?
we packed while she was taking a nap
Nice.
and like loaded the whole car up and everything. So she didn't see any of that. And so we get to the airport, and I was like, hey, Boots, I got to tell you something. I'm not the only one going on this trip. And I was like, Mommy's coming? And she's like, oh. And I was like, and Remy's coming? She's like, oh. And I'm like, Milo's coming? And she's like, okay. And then, and I said, and you're coming? And she was like, and I was like, and where are we going, baby? And I was talking to Jenny, and Jenny's like, I just thought we would just take a quick trip to Disney. And so she was like, what? And so, you know, she was super
That is
excited.
great.
I love that.
So have you ever thought that you would be right about a situation but you know that you might be a little bit of a pessimist, so you're like, I'm probably not going to be right. Let's just see how this thing plays out.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm going through with Disney right now.
Oh,
Really?
no.
What does that mean?
Never again am I taking all these jokers to Disney World. That's the worst idea ever.
3 kids, baby. 3
You
kids.
got to give him like 8 years, right?
Oh yeah, I told Jenny on our way back to the hotel today, or it might have been yesterday. I can't remember. All my days running together.
I bet.
And I was like, hey, so like never again, right? Never again.
Oh, that's sad.
Well, it's kind of one of those things like, but you're taking this. Amara's been awesome.
Of course.
obviously.
Right,
Yes.
right.
She's
And
6.
she's been there before.
And she's been here like almost every year of her life. And so, but you have to assume, that a 2-year-old and a 1.5-year-old are not going to do good here.
Mm-hmm.
You want to believe that they are.
Right.
You want to believe that they'll be so enamored in the colors and the noise.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but this is Remy we're talking about.
Uh-oh.
So, man, it has been not great.
Oh, man, I'm so
So you and
sorry.
Jenny are on the same page with this then. Like
Yeah, we shook hands. We were like, we're not doing this for at least 5 more years.
There
Yeah.
you go. Yeah.
Never
Wow.
doing this again.
Wow.
And so, because, it's hard because Remy's personality, number one, is hard on its own.
Mm-hmm.
When he's in a group. Remy's a weird kid because obviously he's got his crazy quirks, but when he's by himself, when it's just me, him, and Jenny, he's amazing.
Right.
And he communicates well, but there's something about like he needs your undivided attention, especially if like loud noises are going on or
Yeah.
it's dark. He gets scared real easy, and so he'll cover his ears. And he didn't want to go on any ride. It was one of those things where you're like, as an adult, you're like, you just had fun on the last one.
Yeah.
Right.
Why would we now take you on the broccoli of rides? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so like we'd get in line for something, he'd start freaking out, and we'd like talk him off a ledge, and then he wouldn't want to go on it, and then he would ride the ride, and then at the end he would be like, "Daddy, that was so fun." And I was like, "Yeah, buddy, I know. Now let's go on Peter Pan." And he'd be like, "I don't want it. I don't want to."
Aw.
And you're like,
Oh, wow.
"But you just had fun on this one though." And so it's just been like, oh. So me and Jenny already have plans to come back in September by ourselves.
Hey, there you go. That's perfect.
So we have some extra tickets left over, and I have Rock the Universe in September. These tickets don't expire till October. And so for her birthday week, I think we're going to come down early and do Disney and
great
Universal
idea.
Yeah.
Great idea.
by ourselves. So that's the silver lining. And
Are you staying? Are you coming back early? Or
we're coming back tomorrow. We've been here 3 days.
Oh, okay.
We were coming back tomorrow anyway because I have a show in Georgia this weekend.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah. So
Oh man, I'm sorry.
yeah.
It's got to be stressful, man. Because first off, is it crowded? I meant to ask that.
You know what's funny? It is really crowded.
Yeah.
Everything we looked up was like, hey, this is a pretty good time to go. But like a pretty good time to go to Disney still is a bunch of people.
Sure.
And so when I say crowded, it's not like we're waiting. We did wait for the first time today for 50 minutes for a ride,
Okay.
which was
That's insane.
Toy Story.
Oh, right.
But that's totally worth it.
That one's totally worth it. Everything else we had to wait for like 15, 20 minutes. So if you know
That's not
Disney
terrible,
in
yeah.
its peak times,
Ugh.
you know that every ride has a 45-minute wait.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then the amazing ones are 2-hour waits. And so we didn't run up against that. So that was
That's
nice.
That's
Good.
good. Yeah, that is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we had the extra magic hours for those that don't know what that is.
That's
if you
awesome.
stay on campus, then they keep some of the parks open for 2 hours later in the night for people that stay on campus.
Very nice.
So, so Magic Kingdom was open till midnight the other night. From 10 to midnight, only those people who stay around here could go. So the whole place clears out. It feels like there's 35 people in the park. So that was fun. So me and my sister-in-law ran around and did a bunch of rides last night.
Yeah, that's what we do too on extra magic nights where like, let's go, we're gonna hit everything because you usually can.
Exactly. So, it's just been something else, man.
Man.
But it's been what I thought it was gonna be. There was a sliver of me that was hoping that it wouldn't be like this.
Yeah.
Right.
Because everybody's seen the parents at Disney with the screaming kids, and you're like, why would you bring all your children here? And then you have three children.
Disney, first off,
exactly. Right. Then you have three children. And you're like, well, I can't not take Remy. That would feel weird.
Right.
To be looking back at pictures 7 years from now. He's like, why didn't I ever go to Disney? He's like, oh, because you were difficult.
Well, exactly. I'll tell you why.
Because you were a pain.
Because we took you once.
Exactly.
That's all you needed.
Right. So that's my, and Clash of Clans. So that's it.
and Clash of Clans.
But I mean, my wife has been holding it down, man. My sister-in-law's been a lot of help. This is her first time to Disney, so
wow,
it's
really?
It's fun and not fun. Yeah, she's 15. It's her first time. She's never been on a plane before, and she's never been to Disney World, and so it's not the best first experience, but I think it's still like it's also not the worst. She's not having to parent,
right?
But she's just having to listen to everything going on,
and she got a lot of free birth control.
Yeah, exactly.
She's like,
she got free room and board.
Never having kids.
Exactly.
Yep.
Check.
Tie those tubes up now. Done.
Yep. At 15, let's go ahead and end this.
So, were there any rides that were there any rides that the kids like loved? I mean, I'm sure Boots loved.
Well, they loved all of them. That's what I'm saying. There wasn't anything that they didn't like. It was just the ramp up to getting on some of these rides.
Yeah, it's the convincing of getting them on there.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then Milo did really good. But again, he's a year and a half, and so it's 90 degrees out, and so he'd get whiny, and but you got a fan going and water and sunscreen, and you're trying to do all the things, but that's why we stayed closed. So we would come back and let him sleep for like 3 hours in the middle of the day, and then go back out, and then the weather be nice, and he'd be fine until nighttime. But it's just never again. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's that Disney stress, man. It can get to you, and especially if the kids aren't in it, or there's there's a lot of people around. There's lines. You're waiting. You're tired. Your feet hurt, and then on top of that, you have to deal with your kids and try and convince them, hey, you're gonna love this. Trust me, because like years from now, you're gonna keep coming back to this place.
Right, and we did get to see every day was a reminder that somebody had it worse than us.
Wow.
And so like even on the bus today, like I saw a mom and a dad with 4 kids, and it was just the most stressful thing ever watching them.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like, well, we ain't got it like that. And them kids are screaming. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And you're like,
Right.
oh, snap.
Oh, Lord.
That's awesome.
It was like we didn't have anything like that. We would just have to like talk Remy down off a thing, but you're like having to do that every 10 minutes, it felt like. Because he was like, where are we going? And we're like, to such and such a ride. No, I don't want to. And then you'd be like, Remy.
He just automatically shuts it down, right?
Yeah, he does not. Yeah, he's like, not having it. And you're like, but you'll love it. He's
Right.
like,
Did you change the name of any of the rides to see if he would react differently?
No, I just stopped saying we were going on rides. He'd be like, where are we going? I'd be like, over here.
We went to Six Flags this one time, and we had Stacy. We had our little nieces and nephew with us, and our friends, and we wanted to go on this roller coaster, and so we told the one of the kids that was tall enough to do it, but he was like afraid of stuff, and we just said, "Oh no, this one's up and down fun time."
Exactly. Nice.
And he screamed. Oh, my nephew Carter, he was not happy when we got off of that one. He was.
Oh, that's
Oh,
funny.
I believe it.
Yeah. So.
He was like, you tricked me.
It's up and down vomit time. I mean, fun time.
Oh, Carter.
Oh, man. So that's it for me.
Man.
Somebody without kids. Chris?
Things are.
Gabe's going to get the old snip when he comes back.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. I told Jitty that's what I want for Father's Day.
I got the perfect gift, honey.
Exactly. Be like, I'm thinking about getting a vasectomy. Chris said he has a drill, so.
Hey, there you go. Tie a string to it.
You can get a tooth out and a vasectomy at the same time.
There you go. Chris has a solution for all your family problems.
Yes.
That's right.
Exactly.
Get the drill.
Right.
One drill.
One drill.
One drill.
To rule them
To
all.
fix everything.
To rule them all.
One drill to rule them all, and in
That's
the darkness bind them.
Chris, what's
All right,
going
Chris,
on
hit
with
it
you,
up.
brother?
Things are going good here. I had a pretty full weekend. My father-in-law came into town. They were going to be going to him and a couple of his buddies came and stayed at our house Saturday, and then they ended up leaving on Sunday. They were coming down for a golf event thing that they do. They're part of this big group. They like to go around and play golf. And part of the group is every year around this time. I think last year it happened in May as well, and then this year. And they go to this event where you play. They pick a different course each time over here in the Metroplex, and then they get to play. Like, they split up in groups, and each group gets to play with a pro or someone who's a semi-pro or was a pro, something of that sort.
Nice.
And then they just get to do the round of 18, and it's something that he and his buddies really look forward to. So they were in town for that. So we got to spend some time with Stacy's dad and Stacy's dad's friends, which are really close. Like, Stacy knew all of them from growing up and everything, and she worked with a couple of them as she was, in her first couple jobs and things like that. So that was fun. Her dad had made me some shelves for my coffee bar area. And he also built us a table, and so this time he also brought down the table for our little breakfast area. And our big dining table is in the dining room, so we needed another table for this little area. So he built us one, so that was cool to finally get that. And so those are the only two pieces that I'm aware of right now that he's building for us. So anything else that we're planning to get, we'll probably just end up purchasing. But they look really good, and and it's nice to have things in place. It feels like things are starting to get where we want them, slowly but surely, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I had
Nice.
I had a freelance photo job on Saturday that I took care of in the morning before her dad came in. So that's a nice little extra income that coming in at some point. And then the only thing that was uneventful, well, it was eventful, but not something that we planned for, was as when you're having company come into town, typically what you do is you go and you start cleaning up the place a little bit, to make sure that everything looks nice, the beds are made and all this and that.
Yeah.
And Stacy was cleaning the toilet in one of our bathrooms, our little half bath. And I wasn't here. I was at the photo shoot, so I don't know exactly what happened, but she took the top off, like the lid, to get to the tank. Mm-hmm. And she said it got caught on something, and she was messing with it, and she dropped it, and it landed right on the back of the toilet and cracked it, and water just spewed out everywhere.
Oh no!
And so
That is the craziest thing.
That's nuts.
And she felt horrible, and I'm trying to be like, it's okay, shut off the water, and then we'll get this figured out. Because I wasn't sure, like, okay, maybe it's fixable. Maybe it just knocked something loose, and we just need to tighten down some screws or something. I have no idea. But no, the way that it hit right where the tank bleeds into the actual bowl, man. And it was just cracked in half. So there was no fixing it. Or there was no it wasn't just no super glue or anything was going to take care of it.
Do you have a tile floor in that bathroom?
We do have a tile floor in that bathroom.
Hallelujah. All right, well then that's
and it
terrible.
actually, when it first happened, she got down there really fast and turned the water off, so not much had leaked out, and I was able to take the tank off and go and dump it and everything. But I've never replaced a toilet, so I was like, well,
You haven't?
No, I've never had to.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah, so I was expecting it to be horrible, but yeah, it really wasn't that bad. It was. Now, the one thing that made it bad, I guess, is that when we went to the Lowe's to get a new toilet, we picked one that I guess was kind of fancy, and so because it was kind of fancy, it's all sealed on the sides. You have to access everything from the back. Which probably normally in all my other bathrooms, I don't feel like that would be an issue, but in this little half bath, the wall's a lot smaller and it's a lot closer to the back of the wall.
Right.
And I didn't realize that, which again, it wasn't too bad. The worst part was in the instructions. And one of the reasons too why we bought this one is because it came all together. Like, it came with the little wax seal and all the hardware you need and everything. We didn't have to buy all that stuff separately. And we're like, okay, so let's get this one. And the other thing that it didn't mention was to put on the toilet seat. Now, every other toilet seat I've ever done, is pretty simple. But this one, again, because you have to access it from the back, luckily I'm a small guy and I could just barely get my arm into the place where I needed to put the screw. But there was nowhere in the instructions where it mentioned like, hey, put this on before you install the toilet. It didn't even mention the toilet seat anywhere. And I was like, well, it's probably because they're so simple, it's not like it's going to take a lot. It's not rocket science.
Oh, no.
But I really thought I got one of them on barely, and I was like, I'm not going to be able to get the other one, which is going to be one screw is going to have to do it.
One-seater.
I mean, eventually I got it, and then Stacy, after she christened it, we were like, okay, we got to make sure it's working and everything. And then she's like, I don't like that toilet seat. I was like, well, too bad, because it's not coming off. Sorry, but I'm not taking that toilet back apart to swap out the seat. Like, we're just going to have to live with it, or we've got 2 other toilets. Use one of those bad boys.
That is amazing.
Yeah, so
I've never even looked at a toilet seat to not like it.
Yeah, I mean, it seemed fine to me, but I don't know.
It's a toilet seat, right?
Yeah, I mean, I can still do what I need to do, so I guess I didn't pay that much attention outside of that. But hey, I mean, I guess I can check that off. Like, okay, now if I ever have to replace another toilet, I know what the heck I got to do.
There you go.
Good for you, man.
Exactly.
One more thing I can do now. YouTube, I YouTubed it, and I was like, there's got to be more to it than this. This isn't it. Like, where's
no,
when's
it's
it gonna...
super simple.
Yeah, it was actually way more simple than I expected it to be. So that was a pleasant surprise.
God bless YouTube.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Because she had called her dad.
I've changed the radiator in my car because of YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing.
I've changed out car stuff too. Well, actually, most of the stuff that I learned to do, I learned from friends because that was pre-YouTube. But then I learned a few things after the fact too. Yeah, through YouTube. How to change one of my starters in my Acura Integra. I was like, where do I find? Oh, that's where it is. Okay, thanks YouTube. Right. Yeah, because I had to find it. She had actually Stacy had called her dad and told him like, oh my gosh, we broke our toilet because we were cleaning and trying to get everything ready for you guys. He's like, oh, her dad and his 2 friends were like, oh, well, we'll just take care of it when we get there. Because, they're staying in our house for free. I'm like, oh, yeah, cool. But I pretty much had it taken care of by the time they got there. So I was like, hey, pat on the back. That was nice for me. I was like, hey, I did something well. On the gaming front, the only thing that I've been playing really is God of War. I'm still working towards the platinum. I don't think it's gonna be super difficult. There's gonna be the last few things are the things that I'm saving for the very last are gonna be the most difficult parts. I don't know if I want to talk about them because I don't know if they might be considered spoilery. They're not really story related, but they are game related.
They're collection related, aren't they?
No, they're not collection related. The collection related ones are the ones that are going to be the most grindy. And those it's more about because I didn't look at the trophy list at all. And I was like, because I didn't want to have anything spoiled. Because I wasn't sure. Because some of the times you go on the trophy list, and a lot of them are hidden if they're story related. And then some developers it's like they don't care, and they're right there. And you're like, well, there you go. I just read this, that, and whatever. So I just didn't even check out the list. And there were a few times as I was going, I would find something, and then later on I'd find another, and then another, and be like, oh man, I bet this is going to be a trophy type of this collectible. And I haven't really been scouring trying to find all these things.
So will you just wander around, or are you using like a guide from online to tell you where they are?
Well, I haven't gotten to the point where I'm starting on the collectible parts yet. But when I get to that part, I'll just use a guide that shows me at least where they are in the world. The one thing I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's been long enough. I can talk about some stuff.
Can we start a tips and tricks website where people can find maps for collectibles?
I know, right?
And call it whatintheworld.com.
Yeah, done.
Whereintheworld.com.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, you could totally do that. You want to get it going?
I'm not going to do that.
I guarantee you that domain's probably taken, but we can look.
I know. We have to fight Carmen Sandiego for it.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
right. So the thing that's been taking most of my time is there's a few kind of trial-based stuff that you've got to do. And they're not the most difficult thing in the world, but they are, like, as you get further along and have to do different trials, the trials get harder to do. So that's where I've been spending most of my time.
Is it like it's like the challenges, right?
Yeah, like challenges and whatnot. So right now, I stopped at one point and I was like, okay, I'm going to come back and it's the last step of this one area. And I was like, I'm going to finish that. I'm going to save that for one of the last things because I think I could do it right now, but it's difficult. I was like, I want to go back and get all these other things, all the collectibles and whatnot first and save these last few little tests, if you will, for my last few things I got to do because that way I should be the most powerful that I'm going to be at that point and all that. So hopefully that'll give me a little bit of an edge. I did jump into Overwatch one night, played a little bit of the new map that was on there. But
what's the map?
It's actually, I don't know the name of it. I can't remember the name of it. But they had an event previously, the Archives event, and you did this mission on a map in Italy, and they basically made that map now a multiplayer map.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't. Do you remember the name of it, Ed?
Rialto.
It starts with an R. Rialto?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. I knew it started with an R. I just couldn't remember what it was. But it's a cool map. It's just like any other time that a new map drops. You get in there and you can tell the people that have just been playing it constantly. And I'm like, geez, I got to figure this one out now. I got to figure out how to get. Yeah. And it has a lot of ways to get in and around people. There's way more entryways and whatnot. So that's nice. You can at least figure something because they can't control every single entryway. So that's nice that there's at least a way once you do some poking and prodding, you find the way to get around behind them and kind of disrupt, and then hopefully your team can push forward. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of surprised they haven't announced the anniversary event yet. That's got to be around the corner. Mm-hmm. I feel like it's supposed to happen in May, but there hasn't been any announcement about it. So maybe it's June, and I'm just not remembering correctly. So, but that's pretty much it for me.
There you go.
Nice.
Tim Router.
Yeah, man. So, Piper's topic of the week. All right, here we go. Fish.
Fish?
Huh.
Okay.
Fish.
Did y'all get a fish?
As in, well, very interesting point. In her kindergarten, they were taking care of.
She tied a string to a fish and then to her tooth. Is that how it worked?
Oh my gosh, I wish. Yeah, right. And then Uncle Chris came in and drilled it out.
Drilled the fish.
Exactly.
Right, drilled the fish. So in her classroom, they've had some fish, and because they're only 8 days away from finishing school, today was the day that fish come home, and basically the students, the kindergarten kids, can decide whether or not they want to take one home with them. So we now have two.
Oh, yes.
We have Charlie and Rosanna, I believe, are the two names that Piper named them. So they are next to our frog, Cheese.
I forgot you guys had a frog.
I did too.
Yeah, we've had him for 4 years. He's an African dwarf frog.
Yeah, you guys are those
very
people.
Tiny.
Is he like weird colors and stuff?
No, he's just he's the size of a quarter.
What?
And he just stays that way and doesn't do anything. That's it. You know, if you go into Gabe, you'd know, like if you go into Brilliant Sky and you see those little cubes with the frogs in them, that's the kind of frog.
I got you.
What's the name of it again? I'm gonna look it up.
An African dwarf frog, I believe. So they're super tiny. They don't do anything, but we've had this frog since her second birthday, when her Aunt Dabney decided to purchase it for her birthday. Yep. And so we're like, well, we're going to show her, and we're going to make this frog live forever.
And it is indeed the same frog that she got for her birthday?
It is indeed. Okay. She actually had, well, here's the thing. Funny story. She actually had two, and one was eating the other's food, and one died. And that was, the two were Mac and Cheese. So Mac passed away, God rest his soul. And so now Cheese is, yes, exactly. And now Cheese has taken over. So he has a wonderful pink little castle aquarium. And I just changed his water this past weekend, and so he's happy as a frog. And so
nice.
So we have acquired two fish now. So now, yes, we are that family that I'm going to be Dr. Doolittle before you know it. So it'll
exactly. That'll be Ace Ventura.
All I need is a push me, pull you, and we'll be good to go. So it's just it's just one of those things.
Wow.
And I saw her, and I'm like, she comes out of school with this big smile. I'm like, I know what that is, and boom, there's two fish right there, and we're like, okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start this. And the funny thing is we leave tomorrow to go up to New York to visit the triplets because it's their communion this weekend. And as
nice.
godparents,
take them a hamster.
As godparents, I should just bring these fish up for them. That would be amazing.
You should.
There you
go. That's a great idea.
And it'd be more amazing if the fish don't make the trip. Like, here's some dead fish.
Here's some dead fish. Here's some belly up fish for you. Thanks, Aunt Dabney. Here you go. Yeah, so we travel to New York tomorrow. Their communion is on Saturday, and then we come back on Mother's Day, which is, it's not the best, but it is what it is. But we're gonna have a great time, and Piper's super excited to see the triplets, Poppy, Elsie, and Bennett, and so it'll be a lot of fun. We'll have a good time. So that's what we're doing this weekend. This past weekend, Lauren was up in Minnesota for a beauty counter event, so I was single dadding it. On Friday night, we went to Eat the Street, which is this food truck festival here in Franklin. Had some amazing mac and cheese from this mac and cheese truck.
Very nice.
My brother and my nephew Liam and my niece Lily came, and so we had a great night just hanging out. And Piper had a ball with her cousins, and it was a lot of fun. And it was really crowded. Gabe, you forgot to mention, how was the Foo?
Oh, Foo Fighters.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right.
I meant to, because that was the same night. Because I remember I said, "Hey, you want to come to?"
They were awesome.
Yeah, see, that's way better than Eat the Street. So,
oh my gosh, they rocked our faces off.
that's so great.
Nice.
Them jokers played for 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Really?
Wow. Non-stop rock and roll.
No intermission.
No intermission.
Wow.
And that joker and he doesn't talk that much. I mean, he gets to talking a little bit. Like, we had a little thing where it'll end up on YouTube where a little kid came up and played the drums and really played them good, but then didn't get down. And then you didn't really know if there was like a language barrier thing going on or not. And you were like, why is the dad not getting their kid?
Right.
Oh man, the kid's still up there. This is really uncomfortable. Okay, this is not cute anymore. Please get your son. Why is he not getting his son? This is the weirdest thing. Somebody's recording this, right? Okay, good. This will be on YouTube so we can watch this later. This is really weird. Wow, he's still up on them drums.
Wow.
It was like that.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yes, but the Foo, oh.
2 hours and 45 minutes.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
How?
Take note, Justin Timberlake. He played for 2.5 hours and took an intermission.
And he's playing
right.
tonight in Nashville as we speak. Probably done by now.
Yes, and I'm not saying that he lip syncs any songs, but he's got a lot of track help.
Yeah.
Dave Grohl ain't got no track help.
Wow. That's awesome.
He has the best screaming voice, I swear.
Gosh, it was amazing.
That's so great.
It made me feel weird because he got a pretty good potty mouth on him.
Right.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
And
of
there's
course.
like 8-year-olds in the crowd.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, I was like, why did you bring an 8-year-old? But, it happens.
It's the Foo,
Yes,
man.
it does.
Yes, it does.
It was funny. I was just watching Delirious the other day. Eddie Murphy's Delirious because it's on Netflix.
Oh.
And he says to two people in the crowd, "How old are you?" And the kid's like 13. I'm like, why would you take a 13-year-old to go see Eddie Murphy? This thing has been foul.
As we're all listening to it when we're 10.
Yeah. Because that was the
Not
thing
me,
to do,
man.
man.
My parents would not let me listen to that when I was.
I listened to that on the volume so low if they knew I listened to that.
Oh, yeah.
I literally didn't listen to that or Raw till I was an adult, moved out of the house.
Is that right?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, I didn't see him till way later.
Wow.
Yeah, I think I was in high school for Delirious and Raw came out. I forget when Raw came out. But, oh, yeah. Not appropriate for children under the age of 13 and or even higher than that.
Exactly.
So it's crazy.
That was the 80s Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, that was definitely a thing. Well, good, man. I'm glad you had fun at Foo. I meant to ask you about that.
Yes,
so
it was awesome.
Anyway, so yeah, we did Eat the Street on Friday, and then Saturday we just ran around and did some errands and watched the Preds. Finally, tomorrow night is Game 7.
Oh,
against
wow.
the
I
Jets.
can't believe we tied it. I
is-
cannot believe it.
It is do or die. If we do not win, we are out. And there's a
Here's
lot
the
of
problem.
admit.
Anytime we get beat, it's like 7-3.
Right.
When we beat them, it's like 2-1.
Right.
Like,
Oh, right.
Jeez.
Yeah,
We're
but-
barely squeaking about. The last one was like 4-0, but
Yeah, we
still.
shut them out, which was great. So it's gonna be. I'm gonna be a nervous wreck. We fly in at 7:50 Eastern time tomorrow, and the puck. Well, the game starts at 8, so puck drop will probably be at 8:15. So I'll be on an Uber heading up to Rye, New York, and probably watching on NBC's sports app.
I know that's
the
right.
first part of the game. So I think there's a lot of nervous energy. Like around here, I know a lot of my buddies are like, ugh. I think it's going to be a close game. I don't think it's going to, I pray it's not a blowout, but I mean, we played so well last time and we're building off that. So yeah, it's kind of do or die. Piper and I are going to wear our Pred shirts tomorrow on the plane. And yeah, it'll be interesting. So yeah, so we'll be up in New York and then we come back Mother's Day. And then in between then, I had a client all-day meeting yesterday and then half of a day meeting today. And last night we all took a bus and went up to Topgolf. So I got to experience Topgolf for the first time.
Oh, nice.
And
that's the first time?
Yeah, it was awesome. Oh,
Isn't it fun?
Suck at golf. But I got progressively better and it was really, really fun. I really enjoyed it. I could do that anytime. And so we all had a good time. And so now I'm just playing catch up because, I haven't been able to check email or get any work done. So I have a ton of stuff to do before I leave tomorrow. So I'll be getting very few hours of sleep. On top of that, trying to get in some more God of War, which I started this past week and just loving it. And
good.
It's just, I love how seamless it is. There are no quick time events. It's just one big progressive story. And I'm starting to see a lot more of an emotional side of things. And it's really cool how they took this angry, crazy, Kratos and has really humanized him. And I love seeing this progression as you go through it. Love the
boy.
Love the combat. Actually, I'm actually having a lot of fun with the combat. Love that axe. Oh, that is just
it's awesome.
So much fun. And so it's been really, really great. I'm really glad I stopped everything and started playing this. And so I will, I want to try and finish the main missions and finish the story so that we can all jump on a spoiler cast. And then I'm probably going to play it again for the platinum. Either that or expand on the platinum from my game.
Is there a better feeling than when you throw that axe and then scoot to the side just to position yourself and an enemy? So when you recall the axe, I love that.
Yes.
It's so much fun.
That was amazing.
It is the greatest thing. And even in between that, I'll throw the axe, have Atreus hit him a couple times, move around, and then bring it back a little bit later and just poof, he's gone. And it's just like, oh, that is so much fun. Can we do that again, please?
Right.
It's almost as rewarding as Lara Croft's bow and arrow for me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's good. That's a really good analogy because that bow, I used the mess out of that bow. And
it was awesome.
That thing was so great and it felt so good. And this feels really good too. And Chris, I took your advice of continuing to buff up Atreus as well as my defense and the shield. Because the shield is super helpful in a lot of these battles.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know that you could upgrade the shield.
Yeah,
like the things that.
Yeah, I probably
didn't do it till the 75% into the game.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I was like, oh,
I did it once maybe. I didn't do a thing to the shield hardly.
What I end up doing is I go in waves and I'll go in and I'll check the interface and really try and figure out, okay, this, I got to do this and this. And then I'll go for a certain period of time, just collect everything. And then when I'm at a point or, at one of the shops, then I'll go in, see what I've got and then buff everything up. But if I'm not dying as much as I was, then that's good. And I'll just keep going until things get more difficult. And man, you guys are not kidding. You definitely die in this game. There's no way that you're not going to die and not going to die repeatedly in this game. But it actually wasn't very frustrating because I died a couple times and a couple other things, but it helps you just kind of figure it out a little bit more. Like I didn't know, what does this do? And when I use the shield, I'm like, oh, that deflects it. So that doesn't knock my health down. So once you kind of figure some of that out, then you can start moving and shaking. So I really haven't felt frustrated with this game and I'm just enjoying it so much.
Good.
That it's been really great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this all ends and it's, man, they just knocked it out of the park and I'm really enjoying it. And Clash of Clans.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
Clash Royale, I should say. Sorry, Clash Royale.
Clash Royale.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's that game. It's one of those things where if I'm doing something like, say I'm uploading a file or downloading a file, I'm like, I got 3 minutes. Let's play another match. It's just,
yes.
I love it. I never get tired of it. So that's it.
I know, it's perfect.
That is it for me, Mr. Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Bring it on home.
Well, first of all, congratulations to the NYXL for their win over the Boston Uprising in Stage 3 of the Overwatch League. Their Boston's first loss of the stage, and it came right at the wrong time. So congrats, NYXL. Yeah, it's been a pretty good week. Been pretty busy just kind of doing house stuff now that we're new homeowners. We had to set up the Orkin Man to come out and have a look at them stink bugs that are popping around upstairs. And
we had those in the fall.
Yeah. So
really?
They were annoying, and we finally did something about it. Stinky little bugs. The Tapmans came over this weekend. We had some more game nights. Everyone that didn't play the Detroit Become Human demo played the Detroit Become Human demo. And awesome. It's just so much fun. I think it's the first time that we've really played a demo of a game, or that I've had them play a demo, and I would say 70% of them, even my niece's friend who was visiting from college, said, "When is this coming out? And are you getting it?" Because
really?
Yeah. So it was really cool to see that they really got hooked by it. I was really happy about that.
I like that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And also Nova Beyond released that really cool Married to the Games Volume 1 that he'd been plugging.
Oh my gosh, how did I not mention that?
That was...
Fill me in on that, because I didn't get to see that yet.
That is a 2.5 hour, it's a YouTube clip, and he basically took the last 100 episodes and spliced them together into one cohesive Married to the Games episode.
Things, his favorite moments from a lot of them.
Yeah. And it was, man, I can't thank you enough. That was a labor of love, and know that it is extremely appreciated. I was laughing at times, and Lauren's like, "What are you laughing?" I'm like, "We're laughing at." I'm laughing at the podcast. It's just
so
hilarious.
Much fun. So he took like his favorite, each one of our updates, his favorite update of ours, and included that, and just kind of, went through the structure of the podcast, but just kind of like cherry picked his favorite moments. And man, I had forgotten so much that we're just a bunch of idiots.
We really are. We really are.
So much fun to listen
great.
and revisit that. That was a lot of fun.
Dang it, I got to get on that.
Gaming wise, Jared Orr had told me about Solitarica a few weeks ago, and then Gabe, you mentioned it last week, and so I went ahead and picked it up and played through the whole. Got to the castle and beat the last guy, and I was like, oh man, now I can move on to and unlock the new decks. And I clicked on it and it was like, $3.99, please. And I was like, yeah, I'm done then.
And removed.
That was the downside.
I know. And $3.99 is, I would have gotten my money out of it. But as soon as I
also got my money out of it at free.
Exactly. And that's what I thought as well. So I was like, I feel like I've beat this game, and I no need to frustrate myself on harder levels, and I'm good to go.
But that's a fun game, right?
It was fun. It was very addictive, and it was a good time.
I wanted another land. I wanted if I knew that the next deck wasn't just harder, but like new enemies and all that, then I might have sprung for it.
Yeah, that's true. I probably would have as well. I finished Beyond Two Souls, and
good.
It's funny because when we first announced that it was a free game on the PlayStation side, I couldn't remember what game it was. And then as soon as I started playing it, I was like, oh yeah, this game. And now that I've finished it, I'm kind of perplexed as to why I didn't hear more about it. Like, I feel like that's one that I should have remembered, because I loved that game. That was so much fun. There you go.
It was very roller coastery.
Yeah, it had a lot of
mixed bag of
really
for a lot of people.
Yeah, and the front end had a long tail on the front, which is weird because tails are usually on the back. But what I mean by that is, like, I feel like the build up to it was long,
yes,
because Ellen Page was in it, and then when it came out, it's not one of those games that sticks around. You beat it and then you're done with it.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what happened was everybody beat it in the first month it was out, and then what left is there to talk about?
Not only that,
DLC,
though, from the critical side, it got there was a very mixed bag on how it's not linear. It kind of goes all over the place. There were a handful of reviewers that just did not like that at all, and there were other people that could appreciate it for however it is and the way that it does things. But there was a good chunk of people that would dock it score wise because they're like, I just could not get this was not working for me. The whole
really
now we're starting here, and now we're like 5 years ahead. Now we're going back 2 years, but when you were a child, and now we're going to this thing, and kind of the all overness.
That would probably drive me insane.
I didn't mind that. I thought it was a cool little way to.
I'm with you, Ed. I liked
things. Mm-hmm. Interesting. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it's still free on the PS Plus. So if you've got that and haven't grabbed it yet, I definitely recommend grabbing it. Because
just give it a swing.
Yeah, that was a good time.
And it's very. I feel like all those games. Heavy Rain's a little different, but like. Even in Heavy Rain and Beyond Two Souls, you really feel what Quantic Dream does. Mm-hmm. And so I think you'll go into Detroit being like, okay, I know what to expect here.
Exactly, yeah. Like Chris said, played a little bit of Overwatch, and then I kind of found myself, Detroit doesn't come out for a couple of weeks yet, and I was like, I don't know what to play. I don't know.
And a little bit of a slump.
Yeah, a little bit of a slump. And then yesterday, Ubisoft had a huge sale. Ghost Recon Wildlands was $20.
Yeah, man.
And I picked that up, and I am loving it. I'm having so much. And I remember when we played the demo, I did
not like that thing.
I was enjoying it. I was having a good time. And then I don't know why I never picked it up, but I feel like it's to me, and this is not, it might sound like a bad thing. This is an amazing thing. It's almost like freeing Far Cry outposts over and over and over again, and I'm having so much fun doing it.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
I like that you can play co-op, but you don't have to. So it's just it's just whenever I want to play, I go on and I play, and and I'm just starting it. I'm probably 4 hours into it, maybe. But I'm loving it so far, and so it's been. I feel like this will definitely. It's such a huge game. I feel like it'll definitely. Tide me over until Detroit comes out.
Good, man. I'm glad you like it.
Yeah, having fun with that. And I believe that is my week.
There you have it.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Router.
Yes, sir.
You got it?
As long as you're not getting beat down by Disney security.
Well, here's the problem. I can just hear people regularly talking, so they're definitely about to hear, well, let's do it!
I would love to see their faces right now.
We got a code red outside the Cinderella Ballroom.
That's right. That is so awesome.
I'm outside the ballrooms of America. The ballroom of the Americas.
Yes. Oh, that's so funny. All right, let's get to some new releases. We got some DLC party people. Middle-earth, Shadow of War, Desolation of Mordor.
There you go.
PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Destiny 2, Warmind comes out this week.
That's right.
PS4, PC, Xbox One. Through the Woods.
Everybody's like, is this the one that's going to get people back playing Destiny 2? I'm like, I don't think so.
Nope.
Yeah, who knows?
You had your chance.
Nice. Through the
Don't you
Woods.
feel like that, Chris? Like, you don't feel like going back and playing that, right?
Yeah, because you are the Destiny king.
I don't know about our community specifically, but just the Destiny community in general. There's a lot of people who are like, oh, well, Warmind does fix a lot of things, but all the big changes that we were really expecting and hoping is likely coming from the next one, and they all knew that because this one was already so far in development. But they have made some changes to PvP, and they've made some other changes to the way that the exotics and stuff work. And in those two realms in particular, I've heard a lot of good stuff. And I do know some people, I've seen some people on Twitter that are jumping back in and saying, oh, I really like this little story because it is relatively small. And then the changes that they made to the constant loot grind that you're going for. I have not jumped back in. Honestly, though, if God of War and hunting for that platinum wasn't a thing that I was interested in, I probably would be playing it right now, or at least jumping back in, because I bought the season pass thing that came with the last expansion and this one, and I haven't played either. Which, granted, this one just came out, but there was other stuff, there were just all these other games that came out around that time, and I was like, well, I was kind of annoyed with Destiny and how it was just like, well, it feels like they're rinse and repeat here. They're kind of just screwing things up again, and I knew it was going to be like, look, they're going to screw something up. People are going to complain. They're going to say we're going to fix it, and then probably next year on the year anniversary of it is when they'll release some new expansion, and that'll be where a lot of the fixes are. I mean, it was the same way with Destiny 1. Destiny 1 came out, and I enjoyed it. I had spent a ton of time with it. But then when The Taken King came out, which was a year from its initial release, that was the big expansion that really brought in a bunch of changes that almost everybody was happy with. Yeah. So there you go. I'm expecting kind of the same thing.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, there you go. If you want to, give it a shot after you've platinumed that God of War this week, which I'm sure you will. For the PS4, we've got Through the Woods, which is a third-person psychological horror experience. So, Gabe, you're all over that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, can't wait.
Yeah, right? Trailblazers for the
Can't wait to walk past it at Target.
Trailblazers, Xbox One, PS4, and PC. Abduction VR Edition for the PS4. Suberia for the PC, Xbox One, PS4. Tacoma for the PS4. Conan Exiles for the PS4, PC, and Xbox One. We did have an oops or two.
Okay.
Oh, snap.
Jamie, okay, wale, wale, okay, bang, bang. Oh, this is a first for me. I have to oops Gabe. Chipotle isn't owned by McDonald's, at least not anymore. They were sold in 2006. Hashtag MTTG.
Really?
Oops. Hashtag burritos at 300.
Oh, yes.
I like that.
Interesting.
I wonder who does own Chipotle. I don't know who owns them.
Yeah, I don't know anymore.
Maybe they bought themselves back.
Probably Disney.
Yeah, probably Disney or Marvel.
Yeah.
Or both. Scott Clark.
I take back what I said about McDonald's.
Well, there you go. Scott Clark at BreadFan35 referred to Mega Man X as Mega Man 10. The X series is actually very different from the regular series that started on the SNES, where the originals started on the NES. MMX and MM10 are completely different games, just an FYI.
Yeah, I had no idea. I knew there was a Mega Man 10, so I just assumed the X meant 10, but...
So does that mean we're still waiting for the iPhone 10 to come out?
I guess.
Or the iPhone X, either one.
Right. Or the Xbox 110.
Xbox 110, yes.
The 10 box 110.
That's right.
Xbox 110,
exactly.
Right. Back to you, gentlemen.
Chris McCracken.
Well, I've done a lot of talking about Fortnite lately. And guess what? We're going to talk a little bit more. We're going to talk a little bit more.
Let's do it.
Because Fortnite has introduced their next season, and they also introduced a crossover event, and they've brought in Thanos.
Yeah, they did.
Marvel's Thanos from Infinity War, and, Infinity Gauntlet on the comic side, and all the other tons of comics that he's been part of. So basically, it's the same formula that they've had. It's the 100. Everybody's against everybody else, but there's going to be a gauntlet that drops on the ground, and then whoever gets it can pick it up, and they can run around as Thanos, which you have a lot more health, and you can shoot like lasers and stuff from the gauntlet. You can kind of
so smart.
You can't exactly fly, I don't think, but it's more like you jump up in the air real high and you can kind of glide around. And it has voice lines from Thanos, like from the movie.
Really?
Yeah, and I haven't got to see as much gameplay as I wanted to, and I haven't jumped in myself to give it a shot, but I was like, man, of all the crossovers to do, especially now, I mean, like, this is on point. This is how you do it.
It's so good.
And the crazy thing is that, as you might imagine, so they drop Thanos, or he finally releases, and then within hours, they're putting out a hot patch because it turns out Thanos is a little too strong. So we're going to tone down his health a little bit.
They should have left it.
Yeah, they're going to tone down his health, and they reduce the damage of his laser. And it's like, of course, he's Thanos. He's got the Infinity Gauntlet. I mean, he's going to be wrecking shop. What'd you expect? Come on,
That's what the Avengers thought.
He should be able to.
He's a little too strong.
Snap, and that's it.
I know that should. I honestly, when I first read the story, I was like, "Oh my gosh, how crazy is that?" They're probably going to put the gauntlet in some weird, like really hard to get to place, so everybody's going to go there. And the minute somebody gets it, they can do a snap and they automatically win. I feel like that would have been even cooler.
Mm-hmm.
But
that'd been awesome.
Still, it seems like a lot of fun, and I did a little bit of Fortnite on my computer because it actually is one of the few games that works on Mac, and I just wanted to give it a shot with the whole mouse keyboard stuff. Didn't work for me. I was like, you know what? I really should. I feel like I'm pretty sure I have it downloaded on PS4 and Xbox One, I think. But I do every time I look at it, I'm like, yep, I should try that. And then I just pass it on by and go to something different.
Mm-hmm.
I just can't. It's just when I see all the game or the building stuff, I'm just like, man, do I really want to get in here and mess with this? I just don't know. I just haven't gotten there. But if any of all the things that have tempted me, Thanos being in the game is probably the biggest temptation so far.
Yeah.
Amen.
So that is such a great example of listening to your audience and taking advantage of, something like
popularity
this. It's just perfect.
Yep.
So good. Well, Walmart might have ruined E3.
What? What'd they do?
Or spoiled it at least.
Last of Us comes out tomorrow?
Exactly. They leaked a bunch of unannounced video games on its website on Wednesday.
No.
I'm going to tell you a couple of them.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. Some of them we know about, and some of them we're going to hear about at E3.
Gotcha.
We got Tom Clancy's The Division 2. We knew that was coming.
Okay.
This is where it gets a little weird.
Okay.
Because some of these games, I wouldn't expect that they would need to have a page up for yet, but you never know. Last of Us 2, Just Cause 4.
Oh wow!
Lego DC Villains,
right?
Borderlands 3.
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers on the Switch, which would be awesome.
Oh, that's gonna happen.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4, which we know is coming. Final Fantasy VII Remake on the PlayStation and the Xbox. So remember, it's coming to PlayStation first.
Yes.
But, just the fact that they're getting ready is good for your boy. Rage 2, Gears of War 5, Splinter Cell, and then they have like some DLCs and, NBA 2K and stuff like that we already know is coming. Just something that says Assassin's Creed and something that says Destiny Comet, which I don't know what that means, but I just thought it was interesting.
Well, whenever they did, they kind of leaked out their 10-year plan for Destiny. Some of the stuff for, I think it was actually the Taken King. The code name for that piece of DLC was Comet, if I remember right. So it could be just a placeholder name for something that they know is coming, but the official name hasn't been given to them yet.
Oh, right.
For reasons like this.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. So I just thought that was crazy. I was like, man, those are and hey, they could be just getting way, way, way out in front of some of these.
Honestly, I would have been like,
we did know that.
I would have been like, I don't know. But then when you mentioned the Final Fantasy VII remake, and I'm not trying to hate on the game you're wanting to come out, but everything I've seen makes it seem like that game has not moved an inch. So to be talking about it already, whew.
That's what I thought too. But we got to remember too, this is like, we just talked about this. This is the first time Square's doing a press conference in like 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, if you're going to do a press conference, Tim mentioned Tomb Raider.
Yep.
And then this game, Final Fantasy would be a huge one, especially since they brought it all in-house.
Mm-hmm.
And then also, got my fingers crossed for like maybe a Hitman situation. I would love another Hitman.
That would be fun.
So anyway, and I know that they have a plethora of other games they could talk about, but for them to say, "Hey, we're doing a press conference again," and spending the money,
right?
I'm just hoping and praying that since it's episodic, they're going to be able to get something out by the holidays of this year, which would be incredible because I don't think the game's ever coming out. But Walmart saying it is.
Yep. Right? Set the bar low, man, and then you'll be pleasantly surprised.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And, the fact that The Last of Us is on there, That's fun because you gotta figure that they're getting ready for the pre-orders, right? Not getting ready necessarily for game launch, but it might mean they would have had to get this list from somewhere.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's saying that we're going to see some more of The Last of Us, or they're going to say, The Last of Us 2 demo is going to be on the next God of War. I'm just kidding. But you know what I'm saying? Whatever, their news is. Hopefully we just hear news about this stuff, these games.
I know that it's obviously it's going to come in June, Last of Us 2, but the bet is that it just has to be by December 31st, right?
Yeah.
This year. That's
okay.
Right.
All right.
Chris, I'm still with you because I guarantee you Last of Us, even if it would be slated for the fall, late fall, or when
gets pushed back.
It's still going to get pushed back.
I could totally see them drop a new trailer or some gameplay or something at this E3 and then being like February 2019. I could see that maybe being a thing.
Yep.
But if they that would. But if they say like fall 2018 or holiday 2018 or anything 2018, I'll still believe it when I see it. But for that moment, my mind will be blown.
Because we haven't seen any gameplay yet, have we?
No, we haven't. We've only seen 2 trailer, or one kind of like a teaser, if you will, that first one, and then a longer trailer.
The gameplay trailer will kind of answer that. The rumor that's going around, it's not even a rumor, but like just the fan theory of Joel actually being dead.
Well, here's the thing. What will happen at the Sony press conference is that's where the gameplay will be. And that will probably help determine how far along they are. Now, granted, they did this at the other
and
Sony
the announcement right after the trailer.
Right. So
if they drop a gameplay trailer, then that game is. I can believe that the game will come out in the fall, because that you got to be pretty far along for a gameplay trailer.
Yeah, not necessarily, because they did that with the first Last of Us, and then it got pushed back.
Yeah, the very first thing we ever saw was gameplay.
Yep.
Oh wow!
With the shotgun.
It was a trailer, wasn't it?
No, remember they're creeping around that room, and he's crouched down, and then it cuts to that thing where that guy's going to shoot him, and he's going to shoot that guy in the head.
Yeah, I remember the gameplay demo, but I don't remember that being the first time we ever heard or saw it. I was pretty sure we had a trailer before that.
That was the first thing we ever saw.
Because
the whole place.
Fake news.
That whole place went nuts.
Yes.
Chris.
Yes.
What happened in the trailer that you remember?
It's the one where they're in the apartments, and then at the end they're running out and they run out those doors, and it comes with a voiceover of her saying like, this is what our life is every day, running and trying to survive, and then it like scoops up to the sky or something. It says like Last of Us. I'm talking about that trailer.
I don't remember that trailer at all.
Because that's the one where in that trailer Joel looks a little bit different from his final way that he looked, and I believe Ellie did too.
I feel like when we were at E3, wasn't it E3 the first time we saw that? Was at the press conference?
Yeah, it was at the press conference.
And I feel like when we were sitting there, we were watching them do that apartment level. And I'm not saying that wasn't towards the end.
Yeah.
But like when they when he's wrestling that guy down, and this actually never happens in the game, and then he goes to shoot him with the shotgun in the face, and then it cuts and it says The Last of Us. I felt like
I remember that.
That was the first time we right. But wasn't that the first time we ever saw anything?
For me, that's all I remember, and I remember freaking out, going, "I've got to get this game," because that was incredible. And then
that was before this podcast even existed. That's
I know, right? Isn't that weird? And what I think, Chris, you're probably seeing either the TV spots or just like the second trailers, like leading into actual release day. Because the game.
I mean, it's possible that. I mean, Grant, it's very possible my timeline is shifted in my head, but it just seems. And I know for a long time this game was so. They had it under wraps because nobody knew that it was Naughty Dog until it was finally announced. Because everybody thought Naughty Dog is not a big enough team to be working on 2 games, because they had just released like Uncharted, or they were working on Uncharted still. And so I remember that it was like a big shocker that, oh my gosh, it's Naughty Dog and everything. But I could have sworn that trailer was before the gameplay demo, because I thought it was a similar situation where there was a trailer and nobody was expecting a gameplay demo, because they didn't know that Naughty Dog was capable of building these 2 games almost simultaneously, that they thought, oh, there's no way. And then bam, it happened. So But my timelines have gotten skewed in my head in the past, so it absolutely could be the case again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was either way you slice it. Way to go, Walmart! Screw that one up for everybody. But at the same time, I think you're right. I think it's they're at least getting it on the books, and the date might be December 31st of 2018, and that's how it's going to go. And retailers always plan way in advance, so it's not like it's coming right around the corner. I would be floored if it is. This is probably all late fall to late fall, and then everything will probably be pushed to early spring 2019.
Yeah, regardless.
So
what else you got, Christopher?
I gotta say Borderlands 3, that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that's fun, right?
Yep. I know, right? I'm the only one that likes that one.
I like that one.
You're not the only one who likes it. I think all y'all like it. I think I'm the only one who doesn't.
I didn't like it.
No, he didn't like it. Gabe didn't like it.
Oh yeah, that's right. You didn't.
I did not. I played it and I beat it.
Yes, you did. You were faithful.
I played
to
it.
And,
I did not beat it.
I still
bounced.
applaud you for that. I respect you for that.
Thank you.
Right?
Thank you. I did it.
I don't know how you
what
do
else
that.
you got?
Yeah, what else you got, Christopher?
The next thing that I got is that Blizzard is partnering with the Breast Cancer Research Foundation, and they've introduced a new Overwatch skin. And what's different about this one is that you actually have to pay for this skin. But the reason that you have to pay for this skin is because the money is going towards the Breast Cancer Foundation, and they're going to go for at least a minimum of $250,000 is guaranteed donation that they're going to be giving to the Breast Cancer
Fantastic.
Foundation. It's a skin for Mercy, which is the healer in the game, which totally makes sense that a healer named Mercy would be the one that gets the breast cancer awareness outfit. And I think it's a really cool skin. I don't play as Mercy very often. I pretty much only play her whenever we do Mystery Heroes and if I'm just randomly given her. But I haven't had, I've been so enthralled with God of War and just all the stuff that we've had going over the weekend when I didn't play games at all. But I definitely plan to jump in and likely give this a purchase. And it's going to be, I think... Yeah, it's $15 US, so whatever your area of the world is, the price may vary there. And then I think it's only you can only purchase it up until May 21st.
That sounds right.
If it's something that you want, you definitely you don't want to waste too much time. You want to jump in there and grab it. But yeah, I always love it when games. Destiny's done this a couple different times where they had an in-game item that you could purchase, or at one point you could purchase a shirt and it would give you in-game items, but it was all tied towards giving stuff to charity for various reasons. And so I'm always a sucker for when games do this kinds of stuff.
Yep.
I'm usually like, okay, you got me. I was there anyways, but now it's for charity. How can I not? Kind of thing. So I thought that was a really cool idea.
Yeah, that was really cool. And they also did a thing where if you tie your Twitch account to your Blizzard account, if you watch the Overwatch League, you get tokens to purchase team skins. And they have a list of different streamers that Blizzard said, if you watch these guys on your Twitch stream, you'll get some exclusive Mercy sprays. And I just happened to turn one on and just kind of had it in the background just so I could get credit for watching. And this girl was raising money for the same Breast Cancer Foundation, and she had raised just this afternoon $20,000.
Oh my gosh.
It was
crazy.
incredible to see. It was really cool.
That's what I love about Blizzard, and despite the fact that I don't play Overwatch, I love their attention to detail on everything. The fact that they could have just used these skins and blanketed them across characters, making them pink and what have you, but they're taking a healer, which is a completely fitting named Mercy, and using that skin. Like that's great detail. That's really, really awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
They pay attention to everything and they think of everything, and that is very cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really, really well done.
I love that. Something not so heart-driven. Nintendo, Nintendo will not have the virtual console on the Switch, which I know is
Is that I don't know anything about that. So is that a big bummer? Was it expected?
I think
It
that
was expected
it
by
was
a lot of people.
expected.
They had it on the last 3 consoles that they did, essentially.
That's right.
And what is it?
And
It's basically
where
like
they
a digital shop to buy old games. or like classic games from other
really?
previous Nintendo consoles. Like you could buy NES games, SNES games. I think there were some N64 and even a few GameCube games on there. Is that right, Gabe?
Okay, Ray. They're not going to have that?
Yep. Game Boy Advanced. They're not going to call it the Virtual Console. And so this was what's weird to me about Nintendo. Like, you have a thing that people are aware of, and they put their money there. Mm-hmm. Why mess that up? But they're wanting to bring this whole NES, Nintendo Switch Online thing to the forefront. And so I don't remember if you guys remember us talking about this, but their online service is going to like have where you get like 2 games a month, and you know they're already free and wrapped in with your monthly subscription that you're already paying. So I think they're trying to lay the groundwork from that thing and build it up from there. But I think right now they're only talking about doing NES games on the Switch. I don't think they've talked about Super NES, N64, GameCube, but I'm hoping that stuff comes in the future. Just because Virtual Console, the title won't be there, doesn't mean that you won't be being able to play the games that you loved way back in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
But at first glance, yes, Ed, and to agree with what Chris said, like they just expected that Virtual Console would be on Switch. Like it didn't make any sense why it wouldn't.
Yeah.
And so with them saying like, hey, we're not doing Virtual Console. We're going to do something like it, kind of, but not what you're used to. Feels very Nintendo to me. But at the same time, you just hope like, okay, changing of the guard here, popping a clutch. Hopefully it's a better thing at the end of the day. It just hurts right now.
Right.
Because, you know, we thought we would have online from them late last year.
Yeah.
We still don't have their online platform or what it's going to look like from them at all.
That's so crazy.
I know. So we're still just trying to wait, and maybe E3 is the time when they do a Treehouse, whatever it's called, and or a Nintendo Direct, and get to present something that we'll have this fall.
Interesting.
Obviously, they're working hard on it. The fact that they've pushed just the online service back this far, you know what I'm saying? So hopefully they're getting it done and getting it.
So this is a quote from a Nintendo spokesperson, kind of based on the stuff that Gabe is talking about. And there's a lot of Nintendo speak in there, but I'm just going to read it verbatim, so that way I'm not leaving anything out, and we can kind of make of it what we will. But it says, there are a variety of ways in which classic games from Nintendo and other publishers are made available for the Nintendo Switch, such as through the Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, Nintendo eShop, or packaged collections. Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online will provide a fun new way to experience classic NES games that will be different from the Virtual Console service, thanks to enhancements such as added online play, voice chat via the Nintendo Switch Online app, and various play modes for Nintendo Switch. So it sounds to me, and I don't really know, because I know what Virtual Console is. I understand the concept, but I've never used it, so I don't know completely. But it almost sounds to me like I think the main reason that people wanted Virtual Console, or they were really hoping for it, not only just to have access to those games again, but I think that they were hoping that finally this was going to be the time where Virtual Console was finally a fixed thing, and your previous games that you had purchased through Virtual Console, you could re-download here. And that doesn't seem to be the case based on what they're saying. Not only because they're changing the name of it, and they're not going to use the banner of the Virtual Console, anymore. They're going to do it in a different way. This almost sounds more akin to like Sony's way that they've done a lot of things where, hey, so we don't really have like a traditional, not that this is kind of is it, but we don't have like a backwards compatibility necessarily. So instead, we're just remastering stuff and re-releasing it, which I know a lot of people have huge issues with, and they're like, I'd rather just play the other one. It's not as big a deal to me because I don't go backwards and play many old games. And when I do, 9 times out of 10, I'd rather have a prettier, better running, and I'd like to have stuff like, saves and online play added to it. So I don't mind buying remastered versions. But I know a lot of people are like, hey, I've already bought Super Mario World 12 times, and you're going to produce this new version for the Switch, and you're going to make me buy it again. And, of course, they're going to do it because they love the game or whatever. And so I think that I think not only just having the access to the games, but also the ability or the hope that, hey, maybe finally those purchases I've done will just carry over. I think those were some of the biggest disappointments with Virtual Console not being a thing as it seems on Nintendo Switch.
And so I think they're gonna be building something better. And we have to remember too, at least the prices that they've given us, it's going to be a very low dollar amount for entry when it comes to this. I think for 1 month it's $4, for 3 months it's $8, for 12 months it's $20.
Yeah, $20 for a year.
You know, at $20 for a year, I'm not expecting that much. So whatever I get, I'm gonna be really happy with. $20 a year, that's crazy, and that's going to include like they're going to bring in cloud saves and everything like that. People have been looking for cloud saves ever since Switch came out. And so that'll be a part of that. And then also these NES games that are going to be coming out.
Well, actually, I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong because I don't own a Switch, but my understanding was that it wasn't so much that they were necessarily, the Nintendo people were looking for cloud saves, but as you mentioned, Nintendo is going to give, as part of this $20 a year service, if you pay for it annually, they're going to be introducing cloud saves, because right now, a lot of people have been upset with Nintendo. I don't want to make it sound like they're beating down the door all the time, but the thing that they don't like about their Switch, and that's been universally said, is that there's no way to back up your saves. And so there's been actually a hashtag out there that says "Save the Saves," and a lot of people that are complaining that, okay, we've been begging for Nintendo to give us a way on the Switch to back up our saves. And now the way that you're going to do it is you're going to make it a cloud save, but you're going to force me to buy your online service in order to do it. Now, again, we've clearly established, and this is not a problem for me, it's $20. That's nothing, especially if like Nintendo's your main jam. That is nothing. That's nothing. That's not a big deal. But there has been a pretty good little push here lately after this got announced that, like, look, we want you to provide some way, because every other console since they've been in this digital age when you can download things have had a way to download your games or to transfer your saves, be it through memory cards or SD cards or doing it all through your computer or whatever it is. And the Nintendo Switch is the first one that hasn't had it. Some kind of offline way of doing it, if you will, that's not connected to an online thing. And I know that PlayStation and I think Xbox do offer online or cloud saving, and I think they have a free version. Now on PlayStation side, you get more space when you subscribe to PlayStation Plus, but I think you get something. And so they're like, look,
right,
it's something, yes, but you're putting it behind a paywall, and we still really need to have like a analog way of doing this, where I don't have to do it through online purposes. And so it's just, I feel like that's something that they'll implement. I can't imagine how that could be a negative thing for them to implement or a hard thing for them to implement. It's kind of that even more to me than Virtual Console, because at least Virtual Console, you can make a case that, it's a business decision kind of thing. But there's no business decision to why you couldn't like stick in a thumb drive to the the dock or something and back up your saves, or an SD card or something. Right. That they don't have that is kind of a weird thing to me.
And what's the harder thing, which I think will be interesting and fun, is that they're talking about adding to every game especially that comes through the NES thing, will have some kind of online functionality, whether it's co-op online or versus online and stuff like that. That's going to be an interesting thing to watch them implement across all these older games. So we'll see. All I know is Dr. Mario's in the first couple games coming out, so we'll just have to see if they stick to this whole September thing, because if they do in September, I'm giving Nintendo $20.
Nice.
What else you got, Christopher?
So it seems like soon you will have a way to play your Steam games on your phone.
That's right.
So there's going to be a Steam Link app that's coming out. I think it's going to be hitting different app stores on May 21st for Android and iOS. And as long as you're connected to the same network via Wi-Fi and or Ethernet on the computer side to any client, anything that can run Steam, so PC, Mac, whatever you got, you can then connect it, or you'll be able to link to it with your phone, and it's going to support Steam controllers and MFI controllers, which I believe are just your typical Bluetooth ones that usually connect to different iOS and Android devices, and you'll be able to just play it on your phone, or I'm assuming this will also extend to tablets, because, I mean, they're basically, whether it's an Android tablet or an iPad, they run the same OS that the phone does. So I don't know why they wouldn't be able to work across platform or across, device. I think that's a pretty cool idea. I mean, it's basically, it's only in the house remote play. You can't go outside of your house and do it. But hey, it gives you more options on ways to play. You can't be mad at that.
Yeah, really. And
I don't have a huge Steam library, but I'm going to be downloading this and giving it a shot. I just want to see how well it works.
Mm-hmm. Do you? I've never been a remote play fan. I want to get on that bandwagon, but I've never been able to.
I've never done it on my computer, but the only reason is because the computer in my house that's capable of doing it, because it's on a current OS, sits 3.5 feet from my PlayStation 4. So it's like, well, if it's right there, I'm just going to hook it to the TV or my computer monitor, like I do when I record. I'm just going to play it that way. There's no point other than just to test and be like, hey, I'm doing it. Which, I could, but I just don't see the point. On my Vita, I have played remote play for various games outside of the house. Heck, I played when the PlayStation 4 first launched. I think it was December or January. I took a trip up to Seattle to visit Stacy, my first time going up there, and I took my Vita and I was playing Infamous Second Son on my Vita in Seattle, in virtual Seattle, back in Texas.
That's cool.
And I mean, nice. There were only the thing about the Vita remote play was that certain games, and for me anyways, just didn't work because you had to use R2 and L2 a lot, that required you to do things on the back touch, and I just never enjoyed that. But if it was something awful. That was third person and, the main buttons that you use were the face buttons and then maybe R1 and R2, or if you could remap it to where L2 and R2 were on the top little buttons that were on the Vita, then it was fine. And I played numerous games that way because my PS4 back at the house was hardwired in, so I'm sure that definitely helped with it. But y'all know, back at my old house, I did not have a banging internet connection, and it still worked pretty well. I mean, there were definitely times where I had connection problems or maybe the connection would drop, but that could have been the Wi-Fi or internet that I was on at the location I was at. Right. So it definitely wasn't something I used all the time, but I there were times where I used it and had pretty good success with it.
Nice. Yeah, I wish I'd have got into that. I just never did. I want to, though.
Yeah. And if I remember right, Scott Baker used to play remote play and play Destiny like on his lunch break at work all the time. He would tell me about it.
I just don't see how that works.
He did it like every day, and I couldn't do it because of the FPS, and also I couldn't get connected through my network at work because I was going to try it out. But yeah, he would tell me, "Yeah, man, just playing some Destiny on lunch break."
Like, wow. I'll fire it up every once in a while if Sarah's watching TV, and I'll fire it up on the laptop. But I don't do it often, just because more often than not, it does the thing where it goes for 20 seconds, pauses for 2, and then it goes again. And I just, you can't really play a lot. You can't play Overwatch on that kind of a connection.
I wouldn't play any
who's got time
FPS
for that?
Nah, man.
Edward?
Yes, sir.
What do you have for us?
You guys want to hear some new reviews?
Is there a new review?
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
We've got one from DNYCE Model. The label is oh yes y'all, 5 stars.
Yay!
Having listened to every episode of this podcast, I can say that this show is simply amazing. I bounced around from show to show trying to find the one that truly embraced how I felt as a gamer. Once you hear the oh yes y'all from Gabe, you will be drawn in. These 4 guys bring constant laughs and give tremendous insight on many things. I look forward to a new episode every week. Trust me, this podcast is worth the follow. Thank you so much for that review.
Yes,
that's so cool.
Awesome.
Thank you.
I love that.
We have a model that listens to us.
I know. Look at that. See? Models know what they're talking about.
Yeah, they do.
This is one.
They don't just know how to walk.
That's right. They know how to listen as well. This is one from Subotai. The topic is "You had me at dad jokes."
Yes. Yes, me too.
It's a 5-star review. Says, I just found this podcast about a month ago. In that time, I've become a huge fan. The mix of game news, updates, as well as standard dad-type talk really speaks to me. Honestly, it makes me feel better about being a gamer while raising 4 kids, ages 7, 5, 4, and 2 of my own.
Oh, God bless you.
There you go, Gabe.
Wow. Yes.
That's that 4-kid family at Disneyland.
They're going to Disney.
Keep them away from Disney.
So I love my God, my wife, my kids, and the time I'm able to carve out for some gaming. Stoked to hear that there are a bunch of us out there. Keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Love those
Thank
reviews.
you.
Thank you guys so much. That's so cool of you to say that stuff.
That is really sweet.
Definitely appreciate
man.
that.
Doggone it. Feeling all verklempt.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Well, this will fix that. Here are the top 10 videos on YouTube this week, combining the average watch time and views for the week of May 1st through the 7th. Number 10, Hue Part 5, Red.
Here we go.
Number 1, 2, 3. I didn't
9.
number these.
Exactly.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Number 9. There we go.
Yes.
Watch Dogs 2, Part 6, Bottom Dollar Complete. Number 8, Married to the Games, Episode 294, The Bestest Bad Guys.
That's right.
Number 7, Watch Dogs 2, Part 48, Ghost Signals.
Ooh.
Number 6, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
Jeez. Amazing.
Coming out in the fall.
Number 5, Hue, Part 4, Pink. Number 4, Ori and the Blind Forest, Part 14, Thornfelt Swamp.
Ooh.
Hanging in there. A quick climb back upwards a little bit.
Yeah.
Number 3, Hue Part 10, University. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2, Part 19, Paint Job. Number 1, Hue Part 11, The Ending.
Tell him, Ed.
was the ending hard, or you think people are just cheating?
I don't even remember. We'll get comments like, "Hey, how did you do that?" And I'm like, "I played this a year and a half ago. I don't remember what I did."
I know that's right.
The video is right here. But it was probably pretty tricky since it was kind of a puzzler game. So there was something in there, I'm sure.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go. Thanks, Eduardo.
You're welcome.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was a little different.
Mm-hmm.
We asked who was coming to 300, and we will continue asking that question until 300 happens. Not as the question of the week, but just as a side.
Yes.
We will ask that question.
We need to know because we're curious.
We need to know. And the answers came in, too, from last week, and there's going to be like probably over 40 people there.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
man.
so cool.
That's incredible because we got to think. The first year at 100, there was, what do you think, Chris? 8 people?
No, it was like a dozen, right?
Yeah, we
Was
may
it
have
like-
been approaching 12 if you count significant others and whatnot. Yeah.
And then last year, or 2 years after that, definitely doubled the number.
Yes.
It was probably in the 20s somewhere.
20s, yep.
And then this was going to be in the 40s somewhere.
Yes.
So cool.
If not getting to 50. That was just off 1 week of people writing in.
And if they want to tell us, what do they do?
Email us at mailbag@marriedtothegames.com. That's where we're getting. Don't just tell us on Twitter or tell us on Facebook or tell us on Instagram, which is pretty much dead, or tell us on Patreon. Tell us in our email inbox. We're trying to keep it all together so we have a good head count.
And definitely tell us if you're bringing a spouse or a friend or
if you got a plus one.
dog.
plus one. And then if you have your dates as well, just so that we know who's in, like when you're coming in, when you're leaving. So that's because I'm putting it all together, and we've got a nice little spreadsheet going, and so we all have access to it, and it's really for our benefit, so we can get a head count, so we kind of know what we've got and what we can help plan out.
Right.
And, yes.
And unfortunately, it looks like we're not going to be able to do Top Golf.
Yeah.
Which sucks. They make it hard to reserve.
Let me tell you something. What was it? It was a Tuesday. We had
That place was jumping, wasn't it?
It was banging. Like the whole place was full.
Like a club.
It was unbelievable.
Yeah. We just went there the other day, too, and it was busy.
Yep.
Man, oh, man. Yes, sir. So anyway, that was the question from last week.
Yes.
So we don't even have to cover that.
Nope.
Yeah, we just did.
Yeah. It done
You
been
know where
covered.
to find us. We done covered it all up. You know where to find us, facebook.com/married to the games. Come join the group. People are talking in the group. It's great. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Sorry, they're vacuuming.
Yes.
That's awesome.
I was like, is the 3:00 parade late and it's coming right down your hallway, or what's going on?
They're literally vacuumed up to my butt and right around my feet because I'm sitting on the floor.
You have to remember
me. That's amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Disney keeping the magic alive. You know what I'm saying?
That's right, man. It's amazing.
Got to do it. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. MarriedToTheGames.com. Come check out the shop.
Yes.
We got hoodies and
I'm wearing my hoodie right now.
How is it? Is it comfortable?
Oh, I love it.
And I got to tell you what, I wore my Married to the Game shirt today at the Magic Kingdom.
Yes, sir.
And at Hollywood Studios. And I don't know about you guys, I get a lot of comments about this shirt.
Yeah.
It's like this or my Star Wars shirt. If I wear a Star Wars shirt, people say something. If I wear my Married to the Game shirt, people say something.
Nice.
Probably 5 people said something today.
There you go.
Like, oh, that sounds like a great relationship.
Yep.
They never think the best thing about it when they first see it.
No, they don't. They're like, Married to the Games.
And then I was getting food for everybody, and somebody was like, "Oh man, I love that shirt." And this other guy came around the corner. He's like, "I know, I saw it earlier. I love it too."
Oh, so cool, man.
I was like, "Well, it's a podcast. You should check it out."
That's right.
He was like, "Oh, really? It's a podcast?" I was like, "Yeah, man, check it out."
The best community ever.
I know. Holler if you heard me. Like Ed said, YouTube.com/Married to the Games. Now on Patreon, Patreon.com/Married to the Games. Nope. Patreon.com/MTTG.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
Nope.
That's right.
And if you want to sign up for Extra Life, extra-life.org/team/MTTG. Let's raise some money for these kids.
We love you, Eric Thompson.
That's right. The captain.
The captain.
My captain.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's get into some questions. Oh, can I please stop yelling in this conference?
Well, why? They're vacuuming, so it's a sound battle.
You got to keep up.
It's so uncomfortable.
And don't forget, rate us on iTunes so we don't have to bail Gabe out of Disney jail for trespassing.
Yeah, nice.
Thank you for remembering.
Of course, no problem. You have a lot going on right now. Okay, let's start at Discord. Let's start with our boy Lem, Bad Gamer Elite.
Okay.
Deadpool versus Thanos, sans Infinity Gauntlet. Who wins?
Thanos still.
Thanos.
I was going to say Deadpool. So is Thanos a celestial, or is he, like, what is he?
He's pretty strong without the Infinity Gauntlet.
But Deadpool really doesn't die. That's the thing.
But he can. He's the same as, he's like a Wolverine.
He's a Wolverine,
where,
right?
he can regenerate really quickly, but that doesn't mean he can't die.
Yeah, Thanos can still rip your head off.
Even though I think there was a comic where Deadpool got his head ripped off and grew his head back.
Oh, really?
Or they put his head on his body and it grew back. I don't remember the exact
That sounds like something Deadpool would do.
Yeah.
He's had his head ripped off before. So
that's hilarious.
Man, I am excited for Deadpool 2. And the marketing of that film is absolutely stellar. It's so great.
Man.
It is just...
Go watch the Celine Dion video.
Oh, it's so good. It was great. Awesome. Yeah, I think I was going to... I'll stick with Deadpool, even though I'm sure Thanos will whoop him. I just love Deadpool. I think.
Yeah, it's the comic world. Any craziness happens.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that's true.
Sure. Exactly.
Any given whatever day.
Exactly.
It really is.
Nova Beyond, Patrick Novacell. With the recent release of God of War and Kratos now being portrayed as a dad, it seems to me that more and more games are being developed with a father figure as the main playable protagonist. For example, we have Joel from The Last of Us, Nathan Drake from Uncharted, Geralt from The Witcher, Ethan Mars from Heavy Rain, Lee Everett from The Walking Dead, and others. Why do you think we haven't seen a mom as the main character in a big AAA title? Do you think we will? If so, who and what kind of story would you like to see in future games?
Ooh, that's a great question.
Isn't that great? I love this.
I wouldn't even have thought of Nathan Drake as a dad just because I totally forgot about the last 5 minutes of that last game.
Right.
I wouldn't think of him as a dad either.
Nope.
But that is a good question. I like that.
I mean, I feel like the obvious answer is Tomb Raider, like that one of the next trilogy or whatever would be, just because she's already an established action hero and video game hero, or protagonist, I guess you could say, or hero, however you want to label it.
Heroine,
yes.
Mm-hmm. Heroine, yes.
But yeah, I mean, I was kind of thinking somewhat similar to this the other day, just because, I think about video games throughout the day. And I was like, yeah, I feel like the next logical step is for us to get a couple games or a game where it's a mom trying to save, her family or her kiddos or something because something crazy happened. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a child. It could be, that's my daughter and I got to go save her and she's, 22, but she's kidnapped or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what I would assume if it's not Tomb Raider release or based, I bet there's going to be something that, some brand new IP that we don't even know who the characters are. It's got to be around the corner though.
I feel like, there's definitely it's been pretty much all indie games that, like Edith Finch and games like that have a mom as the main character. And that's interesting.
I love it. I would love to see a Taken style game, but with the mom as the protagonist. I think that would be pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I love this. I don't know what it is yet, but I would be all over it. I would play that in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
because you would get an amazing story out of it. You get an emotional story out of it, and I would love to see a mom just whoop people's butts too. I think it'd be incredible.
I got to give a shout out to these single moms out here taking their kids to theme parks because
heck yeah, man,
that cannot be easy.
Yeah,
there's 3 of us and 3 of them.
Yeah,
and I'm not even trying to even do it anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Shout outs to these single moms making the dream happen.
All the single mothers. All the single mothers.
That's right.
Yeah, I've quit 4 times already.
Yeah, exactly. That's awesome.
Man, I hope we see one of those soon. That would be awesome. And I hope it's amazing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would hate for the first AAA one to be like some terrible game. People are like, I don't even get it. Like, what? Come on now.
Yeah, I can't wait. I think it's going to be awesome. I hope it comes around. I think it'd be really great. Great question, Patrick. Thanks for that. Fluxel, if you had enough downtime and no new releases on the horizon you were interested in, what game from a previous hardware generation would you go back and play all the way through to the end again?
Ooh, previous generation?
GTA 5.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, there you go.
No, I would. I've played it twice already. I'd play it again.
Maybe Witcher?
Yeah.
And make it to Skellige this time?
Yeah, man, come on.
I really
but wasn't that
game.
this generation?
That was a 4. That was PS4.
Oh, was it? That wasn't on 3?
Nah, man.
Oh, wow.
You got to go back.
I mean, you could.
I think, did I play it on my PC? Maybe that's why I thought that.
I don't know.
Doggone it. Chris, you go.
I mean, I've already done it numerous times. It's not ridiculously long, but the Metal Gear games, I play them again.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been thinking here recently about starting them up again and going through them all because despite the fact that I am an unabashed Metal Gear fan and Metal Gear Solid 1 specifically is my favorite game of all time, I've not played every game in the series, but I bought that collector, or not collector, but the disc where it has like all the games. I've been meaning to go back and do them. They're on my PS3 though, and then when we moved, and I was like, I haven't hooked it all back up, but I've thought about maybe I should get that started.
There you go. Oh, I could go back to Shamo Saturday.
There you go.
There you go. Mm-hmm. I would do. I'd probably do Assassin's Creed Brotherhood again, but I would do the Dead Space series again in a heartbeat.
Oh, nice.
I really love those. They were great.
Did you download it to your Xbox One when it was Games with Gold?
Ask me if I've even plugged in my Xbox One.
I'm just saying you had an opportunity right there for free.
He probably doesn't have live right now. Or
I have nothing. I have absolutely nothing. It's just sitting there next to the PS Pro.
I have nothing.
Nothing.
Oh, that's awesome. Good question. Okay. Mr. Ham, I know he was banned. Bottom of the ninth to you, gents. So as a man who has been unjustly banned 2 times in the past few weeks.
Are you complaining about your ban, sir? Is that what's happening right now?
Snap!
Here comes Ed. Hang on, Ed. Hold your fire. Hold your fire. I would like to humbly share my defense. First, this is going to be good. First, I quote, accidentally, unquote, called in twice, thinking my second late message would not be played on the show. And then I may have accidentally shared a redundant holiday by a different name. But let the record show, I never repeat questions, and I always try to make them either thought-provoking or entertaining. So with this evidence in mind, do I have a motion to lift my bans and cut a poor missionary living in Brazil a little slack? Do I have a second? So,
Did he get
Silence.
What is it? What am I supposed to do? I'll motion for him. Here, I'll do the motion.
Yeah, I'll motion for him too, because he has been very consistent, and he has provided.
I don't know how court works, man.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I'm just listening like, wait, I'm supposed to do a thing.
Well, since I have no idea what happened, I love you guys either way. I'm going to think positive and say the motion is passed. And since it is passed, let me ask you fellas a question.
Yes, the moment has passed. Next question.
Yep.
Just joking.
Have you ever been falsely accused of doing something that you hadn't done? One time, my quote friend threw a pencil and hit one of the biggest bullies in school in the face. The big tree thought I had done it and chased me down the street until I was rescued by my mom, which was a little embarrassing for a 6th grade boy. So have you or do you get unjustly blamed for anything? Oh, and happy tear the tags off the mattress day.
Oh, that's stupid. That's ridiculous. Tear the tag off the mattress.
I get falsely accused of everything by my wife. Whether it's
like
something she did or I can't, like, there's things that
she's like, I told you to stop putting your feminine products in the toilet. You're supposed to put them in the trash can.
You shouldn't be flashing them feminine products that you've been using, man.
Yeah. It would be something where clearly Piper's done something or moved something, but she blames me because I like to stack and pile things and make them nice.
Stop finger painting all over the car.
Did you color crayons on the wall again, Tim?
Well, it's just one of those things where I'm constantly getting blamed for everything, and I've just accepted it. I'm like, okay, what did I do this time that I know I didn't do?
Stop squishing the toothpaste into the carpet.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, that's me.
Stop eating my lipstick.
Put your dolls away.
Put your dolls away. Stop sneaking out of the backyard and pooping in the neighbor's lawn.
Why is my dress so wrinkly?
When I was younger, I don't even remember what it was. Oh, my mom thought I had lied to her about something at school. And so how my mom dealt with lying when I was little was she would wash my mouth out with soap.
Yes.
And so she proceeded to wash my mouth out with soap, which tastes terrible. Plus she had like them Lee press-on nails back in the day, so it like gag me every third stroke. So you're like, I did and then she went to school and found out I was telling the truth.
Oh man.
Nice.
And she was like, well, I'm sorry you had to get your mouth washed out. What you mean you're sorry? It's done now.
Wow.
Mom, I got some soap for you. No.
Edward.
That's awesome.
When I was younger, I remember I was a senior in high school and I wanted to stay out until midnight. And Mom,
you dangerous boy.
Exactly. And she immediately thought I was on drugs and took me to the pastor.
No.
Yes,
what?
For wanting to stay out till midnight?
Yep. She's like, well, obviously you're out doing drugs. I'm like, what? No. I just want to go over to Kevin's house and hang out and play Nintendo.
Wow.
I know what Nintendo stands for. I looked it up.
Right.
It stands for Narcotic Entertainment Systems.
Which means heroines.
Exactly. Which means heron.
Heroin.
That's right.
You huffing paint?
Huff and paint. That's funny.
Good.
Everybody good? Oh no, I got fired from a job for something I didn't do.
Ooh, really?
Ooh, that
and I didn't. I don't even honestly. I don't remember what it was I was being accused of, but it was a small thing. No, I don't, because I was just like, well, I didn't do it. I didn't do it, so I'm fine. And then so I had worked at this job, and for I don't remember how many years, but it was a lot. It was probably like 5 years or something, and it was not a good company. They didn't have a good company culture. It was not a good place. But I'm one of those people that once I've worked a place for a while and I've got a routine and everything, I just stick with it. I mean, it's got to be really egregious for me to be like, I'm bouncing, I'm just I'm fine staying put typically, as long as and the work that I was doing, the specific job I liked, and I liked my friends that were there. I enjoyed hanging out with them. So, I was like, all right, I'll just stay here and keep working here. And I got written up for something like that I did mess up. I messed like this one print I had to do. I was working at a print shop, and I messed this one print up, but it wasn't something where I did it like I was like, oh, whatever, and I just did it however I wanted. It was an accident, but they wrote me up for it. I was like, all right, whatever, that's fine. And then like a year later, another thing happened, but somebody else had done it, and I was like, no, I wasn't working this shift. And they're like, oh, we know that it was you. You're the only one that was working. I was like, no, but look at the schedule. I worked during these time frames. I wasn't here. I didn't do this. And they told me, I think it was maybe a day later. I kind of thought it was left at that. I was like, no, I proved my case. I wasn't even working. And then they came up to me and they're like, we're letting you go. And basically told me that I was fired. I was like, well, hold up. Why? And they're like, well, one, because you screwed this up. And I said, I already told you I wasn't here. I didn't do that. And then they said, we know that you were the one who was responsible for this, and you were currently written up. And the way that write-ups at this company worked was when you got written up, you were like on a probation for like a month. This had happened. Right. I had been written up a year before. And they said that their policy was that if you get if you get written up a second time during your probation, then it's an automatic termination or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, I was like, whatever. And then so I went and I ended up filing for unemployment. And I don't know if this is if this is a national thing. I don't know if this is how it happens in every state. But in Texas, because this is the only time I'd ever done it, when you file for unemployment, that gets pulled from the employer's insurance money or some kind of unemployment insurance they have.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you go say, hey, I'm wanting to pull on insurance or unemployment, and they say, no, that person was fired, you can basically say they have like a person in the middle, and you can say, oh, well, I want to have a hearing with the arbitrator or whatever. And I said, yeah, let's do this. And they were like, we'll just pay the unemployment. I was like, yeah, that's right. Because you don't have anything. Because they told, when they told me I was written up, I said, okay, I need you to I want to see this write up. I should be able to see it. And they couldn't provide it. And they're like, oh, well, at the time, the person who owned the company owned another company like across town. Like, oh, well, all that kind of paperwork is left over there. So I left and I drove over there. I was like, yeah, I'm here to see this write-up I supposedly have. And they couldn't provide anything for me. I was like, man, y'all ain't got nothing. And it ended up being the best thing I could have done, because that was the job I had right before the job I have now. And this is the best job I ever had. So it was a blessing in disguise. But yeah, I was just like, nah, I'm not burning on this stake. This isn't happening.
Nope. Awesome. Good stuff. Vetstone, in honor of Star Wars Day last week, what's the coolest piece of memorabilia that you have? I can't obviously show you the picture, but the ones he has an original poster reprinted of Episode 4, signed by Carrie Fisher and Mark Hamill.
Oh, wow.
And the second is the men who played Boba Fett and Darth Vader in the original trilogy. And at the moment, Han was frozen in carbonite. So he's got two posters of that, and they're all they're in a glass frame, and they look amazing. It's on Discord.
So Star Wars memorabilia?
Yes, Star Wars.
Well, let's bend the question a little bit to just be memorabilia, period, because everybody might not have.
I don't have any Star Wars.
Yeah, because other than shirts, like I don't have any. Like I don't have a signed Who's He What's It or any of that. I wish I did.
I did just buy a Stormtrooper magic band today, though, for my
What's a
Disney
magic
goings-ons. It's like the thing that it's like
it's your ticket now.
Like okay, gotcha.
Oh, it's how you get in and out of the room, how you pay,
it's
how
fantastic.
You get into the park.
It's your hotel key.
Yeah, it really is fantastic.
It is one of the greatest things ever.
I love when they do that. That is nice.
Yep. you don't have to worry about a thing, and you can charge everything to it, and you can unlock your room. You can do everything.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yes, it's great.
Yep.
I don't have any memorabilia of anything. Just like, I mean,
that whatever.
I've got.
What about the portal gun signed by all the people from Valve?
Is that memorabilia? I guess
that's memorabilia.
That'll fall under the category for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's collector.
Yeah, well, I'm like synonymous in my brain memorabilia with like something collector's item kind of thing. That's where my head's going.
I always feel like memorabilia has to be old and like aged, and like he's saying like, you know, I've got a reprint of this first thing and it's signed by Mark Hamill. Like, I don't have anything like that. Like the portal gun was like 3 years ago.
You don't have like an original asset or something. Yeah.
No,
I got
you. Not even close.
I think it's more of like an item that you would remember that's part of a collection, and typically, yes, it is older.
Right. So I don't have none of that.
so to reiterate, I have nothing.
I don't have memorabilia.
I would consider your portal
cool
gun
things.
a memorabilia piece.
Yeah, I would too. Actually.
I consider it that it will be a memorabilia piece.
Gotcha.
Yes. There you go. I remember I still have Burger King back in, I think.
Oh wait, sorry. I have a. I actually do have something.
You said Burger King and it triggered him.
That's right.
I have one of the original coasters that they used for promotional pieces when it came to the arcade game Tapper.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
is that right?
Nice. That's
so
awesome.
They made a bunch of coasters that they sent out to a bunch of the bars.
That's really cool.
I bought one of those because I love that game.
Oh, nice.
That's really cool. Anyway, I have
Sorry.
Back in the day, Burger King had drinking glasses that had Star Wars on it, and there was one that was like C-3PO and R2-D2. There was one. I have 4. I think they have Han Solo and Chewbacca in one, Luke and Leia in one, and I can't remember the 4th one. But I love those things, and I think they were really great. And my brother-in-law still, like somewhere in the attic or somewhere in the house right now, is a Millennium Falcon toy.
Oh, nice.
My brother-in-law still had, with Han Solo still in it. And
wow.
I have it. I didn't put it in the attic because I don't want it to get overheated or freezing. I think it's in my office or something like that. So
very cool.
I like that.
That's me, right? Am I the only one that got it?
That's you.
Mine is I have a Kojima autographed copy of Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker, thanks to Mr. Gabe.
There you
go.
go.
Very nice.
And it
Good friend
kills me that I do not have shelves in this house yet to where I can display it again. It's in a box. But it'll get there.
That's awesome.
There. Yeah.
There you go. Ed, did you say you had something?
A friend of mine makes props for TV shows and movies and what have you.
Oh, doggone it. You're going to have something cool.
I have...
If you have a Muppet.
I do not have a Muppet. I have a wooden box that when you open it, there are blood slides inside from Dexter.
Oh, I hate you. Wow. That's awesome.
That's really cool.
Yeah, we like
For
it.
anybody that watched that show, that is very cool.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say a mug from the set of Friends.
Oh, that would be nice.
Oh, that would be cool.
Because they always went to the
I never
coffee shop.
saw Dexter, so I don't know what a blood slide is.
Oh, he would take from each of his
Sample.
victims. He would take like a sample of blood and put it on a microscope slide.
Oh,
and then just he had like
okay.
a little box that he kept all of the slides in.
Yeah, I got you. Interesting.
Very cool. B-Dog 1221, favorite love song that reminds you of your wife?
Ooh. The first album of John Legend's.
Yeah.
I think it's called Higher.
Yep.
We used to wear that album out when we were dating.
We went to see John Legend together at that album tour.
Just you and Gabe.
Oh, that's right.
No, it was the 4 of us.
Oh my gosh, that was a long time ago at the Ryman, right?
That was at the Ryman, yeah.
Good venue.
Wow.
Great
really
venue.
is. It's a
That
great
show,
venue.
John Legend, we've seen him twice with you guys, I believe.
I think we saw him the second time separate, but at the same show.
Wow.
Yes, you are correct. I think we
Sade, right?
Sade.
Yes. So yeah,
Wrong Sade.
I know.
wrong Sade. That was good though. That's good, man. John Legend there. That I can totally see that.
Nice.
Yeah. Chris?
Either U2 Beautiful Day or Goo Goo Dolls Slide. Song? Do what? Yeah, because we combined lines from those two songs, and that was our wedding song. So.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, either time that one of those two comes on, I think of her.
Edward?
Sarah is not a love song ballad. I know, right? Ballad type. So we don't have like a love song. The very first song that popped into my head was "Wannabe" by Spice Girls.
Oh,
no,
shoot.
Yes, and
that's
no,
hilarious.
all at the same time.
Just because I knew the words to it, and it was really impressive to her, and that was like one of the first times we hung out. So that's like the song.
Amazing,
easy to impress.
I know, right?
That is amazing. She's a keeper.
Yes.
It's so good.
That's
mine. Nat Cole, When I Fall in Love.
Oh,
I thought yours was the 10 Commandments.
Yeah,
to music.
Yeah, it was.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Love thy neighbor as themselves.
It was actually the bullhorn or the horn that led the Israelites out of Egypt.
Yeah,
that was the song.
Oh, I think of you, babe.
Exactly.
Yep, that was it.
Tim used to listen to the original Audible. It was like a Song of Solomon on tape.
Right. The sound of manna hitting the floor.
That music, whatever David was listening to when he danced.
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, he ripped his clothes off.
That's right. That's good. All right.
What was your real answer?
Nat Cole, When I Fall in Love. Nat King Cole, When I Fall in Love.
Gotcha.
Yep. Okay, moving on to Facebook. Daniel High, what is your favorite one-hit wonder song of all time? Ooh, I like this.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shoot. Probably Cotton Eye Joe.
What? Oh, gosh, I hate that song.
Probably not no.
When I be Cotton Eye Joe.
Oh, I can't stand it.
Not really.
Thank you.
Oh, hallelujah.
But I just think it's really funny that song was popular ever.
I know,
right?
At any time.
I know, right?
Oh. Favorite one-hit wonder.
Wow.
Shoot, that's a good one.
Maybe I love your smile. I loved that song. I can't say it's my favorite, but I loved I Love Your Smile. And she was she guested on Saved by the Bell, so that's points.
I don't know that song. I don't think.
Oh, yeah. Who was that?
Oh, exactly. One hit wonder.
Yeah, man, I remember that.
That's a good song.
Wow.
That is a good song.
Ed, what say you?
I'm gonna have to say
my tea's gone cold. I'm wondering why.
Because instead I bought
she
some
had
coffee.
more than one hit.
Dido.
I'm gonna go with How Bizarre by OMC.
How Bizarre, yeah.
Oh, wow, yeah, that's great.
How Bizarre.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Oh, go ahead.
Jeez. I mean, I'm sure like a minute after we get finished recording, I'm going to think of 12 better ones.
Right?
Yeah, he's going to be like, oh, and I would walk 500 miles.
That was a good one.
Take on me.
I liked that one.
Yeah.
Take On Me was a one-hit wonder.
Yeah, man. What else did Aha sing?
I have no idea what else they did.
Oh, man. Aha was pretty famous.
They were famous, but I had their album even. I can't remember another song from it.
I like Kung Fu Fighting.
Ooh, that's a good one.
And then was just because it always comes to my head, but I don't know if they're. To me, it's a one-hit wonder because I don't know if another album or another song that this person did. But the Night at the Roxbury song, what the?
Oh, What is
Love?
Hadaway?
I used to love that song.
Oh, what a great song!
Yeah,
that is a good song.
Did they do anything else? Like I don't even know.
I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't either.
Hadaway.
Something like that.
It's not my favorite, but it always gives me joy. Never gonna give you up. Never gonna let you down.
Rick, was it Rick Astley?
Rick Astley.
Yep.
Rick Astley.
Getting Rickrolled.
Getting Rickrolled, man. It just brings me joy when that comes on. You're like, I've been Rickrolled. That's amazing.
Didn't he have more than one hit though at the time?
No.
Or was that it?
That was it. That was his jam.
I thought he had something else.
Me too.
No,
I could have swore he had another song.
Oh.
Nope. If you ever want a good party song, man, Rex and Effects Rum Shaker is still one of my. That gets me going every time, man.
Rex and Effects and I'm the record.
I'm a record. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Check, baby. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah. Come on now. I'm telling you,
funny.
like when I used to DJ that would pack the floor. Everybody would be out there on the floor. It was awesome.
Oh wait, Rick Astley had that "Together Forever and Ever."
Oh, that's right. Okay, so he had two.
Yes.
I knew there was something I was
so
missing.
good.
2-hit wonder.
Yeah, 2-hit wonder.
That is funny.
Great question. Everybody go. We got everybody.
So.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah, I could keep going.
That was fun.
Yes,
I know, right? We can keep going.
I really love Good Vibrations.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, what was that song CNC Music Factory did?
Oh, they didn't have. They had a couple hits though, right?
Got the Power.
Everybody dance now.
Oh yeah.
That was
I Got the Power was
one.
shoot. I Got the Power was
Get up and up there, move.
Gonna make you sweat till you bleed. Is that dope enough? Indeed.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so good.
I gotta look up one hit wonders.
Dance no more.
Did Young MC have anything else besides
Bust a Move? Man, Bust a Move. He came out with a second one. And
but was it a hit? That's the question.
No. It was not a hit. Definitely not a hit. There's a
did
lot.
Did Vanilla Ice have another hit besides Ice Ice Baby?
No, I think he tried, but nothing was a hit.
Yeah,
but nothing was a hit though.
Yeah, I don't think anything else was like really a hit.
Yeah, that joke was a one-hit wonder. That's weird. Ice Ice Baby.
Yeah. Good stuff. Oh, that's great. All right, Jen Fackler, what is the most important thing you have learned from a child?
Ooh. You know what? I think being bold. So yesterday we're on the plane, or 3 days ago. I told you my days are all run together.
I know. It's been a long one.
And, we're sitting, it's me on the aisle, Amara in the middle, and then a stranger at the window. And we were just talking about whatever. And the lady at the window starts talking about her husband and how much, they love each other. And she goes, yeah. She's like, that's really sweet. Amara goes, that's really sweet. But he doesn't love you the most. God loves you the most.
Oh,
and
sweet girl.
I know, but in my stomach, I went, ooh, wait. And I was like, wait, but she's not being condemning. She's not like throwing her religion in this woman's face. Like she was just just saying. And I was like, man, there is a way to present your stance by just saying and not like having anything on it to where it attacks what anybody else believes or comes across, because it came across so innocent.
It was so sweet.
There's a way to do that as grown people, especially in the time that we live in now, where everybody takes everything people say and want to write about it, want to harp on it, and want to and there's a way to present yourself and disagree or agree in ways that are sweet and innocent. So that's what I learned from my daughter 3 days ago.
That's amazing.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Yep. For me, it's patience. I'm a fairly impatient person, but with Piper, you have to you have to take the time. If she doesn't understand something, you have to explain it. If you have to, just constantly just be on her for something about something, you have to, just be there and be present and be patient with her and not lose your cool with it, but just be very patient and try and be as calm about it as possible.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot of patience from her, and I love her for it because it definitely helps.
Have you guys learned anything from your dogs or cat?
There's.
I've learned you kill those squirrels. You go get them.
Nieces or nephews. Too.
I guess there's not a thing I learned from a specific child, but I was reading a book on voiceover, and it talked about how we lose our voices as we grow up and be made fun of or be shamed. And that's, some people are very soft-spoken, and not that everyone who is soft-spoken went through something, but, you think of a baby, and a baby can scream for hours and not get a sore throat. And it's because they're using their voice, they're just their natural voice. But something happens when we grow up that a lot of us, we lose that natural voice that we had. And we become, we're told, even when we learn the language, you hear a baby just playing with its voice and and making noises and stuff like that. And you do that now, and people are like, "That guy is crazy," and
right.
And so
there's no way we should be talking like this.
Exactly. And so we're told this is how you should talk. This is how you should use your voice. And so I think just to not let others dictate who you are, but just to be you.
Yep, love that.
I like that.
The only thing that I can think is it's kind of similar to Gabe's, the way that he did about being bold, but more about just, and I don't know if it's necessarily something you learn from the kid because it's not something they're doing maybe consciously, but just remembering that the innocence of things and just knowing that it's, like I know in everyday and adult life, there's times where you can't have that childlike wonder about certain things, but to know that it's okay to still have that at times, and to embrace that a bit. And I think that there's, when the moment is right and you've got some time to yourself and you want to just awe at something, it's like, just do it. Like I've never been to New York City, and I know people walking down the street probably get completely annoyed with this, but if I go, I'm just going to stare up in awe at the buildings. Like, this is crazy. And you need to just allow yourself to do that and not be so, you've got to let go of being an adult sometimes because we don't, just like with how Ed was talking about with the whole voice thing, is just because there's ways that adults do things doesn't mean that's the right way to do them. It's just the accepted way.
That's right.
And so you just need to relax a little bit and learn to enjoy the small things, because kids, it's so true, because when my father-in-law was here and they were talking, reminiscing about the kids growing up and whatnot. And they're like, I bought these toys and spent all this money, and wouldn't you know it, if my little granddaughter, she has the most fun with that box I put up there. And she goes into it and uses it like it's a little fort. And like she spends hours and hours upon that. It's because it's not about the stuff. And as adults, you get so wrapped up in all the little things, and it's got to have this many of that's and all this and that. It's like, enjoy the simple things. Just be okay with that and sit back and relax. And dance like people aren't looking. Just do it, man.
Yeah.
Amen.
That's good, man.
I love it.
I hope you dance.
Before Gabe gets arrested, we're gonna end with this one on Twitter, and it's a good one from Rainflow at Flowing with Rain. What do you think is the meanest thing you have ever done to your significant other, and how did you guys apologize for it? If it's too personal, you guys can skip me. It's fine. But I kind of like this. This is pretty
Let's
interesting.
end this on a happy note, shall we?
Yeah.
Gosh.
That time I almost got a divorce.
Right. Like I didn't feel horrible enough about it at the time.
Yeah, I'll go first because this is what came to mind. So junior year of college, we were dating. I had just applied for the Disney college program, which would happen in the fall semester of senior year. And it just happened to be, and I can't believe I remember this, it happened to be right around April Fool's. So I got the call that I was accepted, and Lauren and I had been talking about it, and she's trying to know, we're trying to figure out where we're going in this relationship, and this could be an avenue where I could get a job, and then we could be married, and that would be it. Like, I pretty much knew she was the one by then. So I call her and I'm like, babe, I got the Disney job. It's a semester down there, and it's going to be this long distance relationships, and I don't know if this is going to work out.
Oh Lord.
I cannot believe I said. I know. I cannot believe I said that.
Tim.
I was such a D-bag back then.
Oh, Tim.
So she's like, what? And so, like, after just kind of stringing it along for a little bit, she's like, nah, I'm just kidding, April Fool's. And she just hung up on me. She just totally hung up on me. And I was like, well, that was really stupid.
I hate this.
That was really dumb. So I drove.
Hence why everything is your fault nowadays.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. It could probably all be stemmed from that. So I drove.
Right.
I drove over to the apartment and just had my tail between my legs, and I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't mean it, and because she was really upset about me not being there in the fall anyway.
Right.
But so
bad news back to back.
Exactly. So it was really stupid. But I was like, so I ended up making up to her anyway, because she came down while I was at the college during the college program. She came down. It was the first time she had been back to Disney since she was a kid. And we had so much fun together. I mean, like, because I got free passes for her and everything. And we just hit every ride. It was like the perfect time. It wasn't that crowded, and we did everything. And she just had a smile on her face the whole time. And it was amazing. But yeah, that was really, really stupid.
That's funny. Chris?
I don't know if this completely applies, but the only thing that I can think of is that I could tell pretty early on, maybe like at the 4, 5, 6 month mark, that Stacy was like, she was all in, and she was just, all right, I'm ready for the question. And I was like, we're going to keep going with this. And I just kept it going, and I knew every time that it would be like a birthday or whatever, I knew she was expecting there to be a ring in there, and there wasn't one. Because
were your other friends getting married at the time too?
No, not really.
All right.
Actually, most of her closest friends were already married. But the thing is that, and it wasn't even like, I'm stringing her along. I wasn't in my head necessarily like, I'm playing this game with her, ha ha ha. It was simply like look, I have a plan. I have a way that I want this. I'm seeing this thing to go, and the way it's going to. Yes, and I'm not just going to jump the gun simply because I feel like it's there. It's like, no, it's got to be right.
Yep.
And so that's the only thing that I can kind of think of off the top of my head.
That's funny.
That's good.
Ed?
Pass.
All right. Fair enough.
I cannot think of anything, honestly.
Yeah.
To where I was outright mean.
Yeah,
or,
I think
there's
with
definitely.
You guys,
you're gonna have
a lot of pranks. I think you guys prank each other, don't you?
No, Jenny don't like that kind of stuff. So I can't sneak up on her and scare her and stuff like that. She does not like that at all.
You'd get a beating for that, I'm sure.
Oh gosh, I would never hear the end of it. The meanest thing I think that I've done, I did on accident, and that's when I bought her those tickets to Celine Dion and worked up that whole card, and in the middle of the card she thought we were going to Italy, but we were really just going to Vegas.
Right.
Oh, that's right.
And that wasn't even mean. That was just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
She was mean to herself.
Yeah, what a letdown, though.
Yeah. I hate that.
Oh my gosh, we're going to Italy. I'm like, we can go to the Venetian. It's like Italy inspired.
Right. Oh man.
But yeah, we don't fight. We don't I mean, obviously we disagree about things, like any married couple, whether it's finances or, what we're supposed to do with the kids all summer, or, we're going to have those things, but we haven't had like that drop down, drag out, never ever anything close to that.
Yeah.
So we're blessed that way. I'm not saying it's not coming. We're both getting older, so usually as you get older, you get crabbier.
Take 3 kids to Disney.
Yeah,
exactly.
No guarantees.
Not even speaking each other.
This trip might actually trigger that. You never know.
I might get the vasectomy on the plane.
I think you should. I think you should just ask the flight attendant, "Hey,
we got a doctor in the house." Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's the way that Lauren and I function, though, too. Like because we can yell and scream at each other. We're from the Northeast. We're from the New York area, so that's kind of what you do, and then you're over it in 5 minutes. And initially it took a little getting used to for me because my family was we were a lot quieter. But now I thoroughly embrace it because it's very cathartic.
Part of your love language now.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it totally works.
That's funny.
It's all right. We're gonna let's end not on that kind of a note because that went kind of dark.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I like this one from Facebook, Matthew Serta. A cruise was recently announced that is supposed to last 200 days and travel everywhere in the world. Time and money being no concern, what 5 locations does your dream cruise travel to?
Home, and home.
Disney,
I ain't going on that
Disney,
crap.
Disney.
That's amazing.
That is hilarious.
Yeah. Y'all got it, bishops. I'm
Gabe,
missing that flight.
Is it because you travel kind of as your profession? Is that why? Then you
Probably.
just rather be home? It's got to be. That's got to be
I'd much rather be at home. No way.
That's
y'all got it. We can Skype about it.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
No, the internet on the cruise ship sucks.
No internet for 200 days.
Exactly. Oh man, that's awesome.
There's not enough anything to get me on a boat that long.
Oh, that is incredible.
But what if you're not on the boat for 200 days? It's just that's how long you're away, and so
that's your mode of transportation. He says, like, what 5 locations does your dream cruise travel to?
Okay, so the dream cruise picks me up at home, drops me off in Japan,
a landlocked state
in the backyard,
and then on its way back picks me up from Japan and drops me back off at home.
There you go.
There you go.
It's perfect.
Ugh.
All right, who else?
Chris, go ahead.
It sounds amazing. Ugh.
So I'm just going to go along with this because it's fake, because in real life, I ain't getting on no cruise. It ain't happening.
Yeah.
Really?
At all? Man, I ain't doing that. No.
Oh, I didn't think Chris would.
It's not happening.
Oh,
so in the fake world where everything's cool, I'm gonna go to New Zealand.
Yep.
Yes.
Probably Australia because they're close to each other right there.
Yep.
I'm gonna go to I'll go to Japan as well.
Yep.
I will go to Ireland.
See you there.
Yep.
And then I will go to I'm gonna go to Iceland.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Nice.
Iceland. Ooh, that's a good one.
So that's my 5.
Yeah, I like it. Ed?
New Zealand, Australia, Ireland, England, and I'll go to Alaska.
Oh, yeah, you have to. Yep.
Sure.
Yeah. We could be on the same boat for most of that, and then we'll have to split off and get on 2 different boats to finish.
There you go.
Yep.
That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I would do Alaska. I would probably do New Zealand as well.
Mm-hmm.
Australia, Mediterranean, Italy. Woo, beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
I would go there and England.
Nice.
Just hug the coast around there. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yep.
I like it. Y'all
Great
have fun.
questions. Yeah, right? Enjoy home. Have a nice staycation, Gabe.
Pick up the podcast after y'all get
back. By then, we have 1 listener.
I know. I've been doing it by myself for the last 200 days.
Exactly.
Konnichiwa!
Yeah, exactly. Oh, so I had some ramen today. Again. That was banging.
Had some ramen today. Mowed the lawn.
Moved some rocks around.
Saw that bird again.
Yeah. There's that old man that's just pouring out wisdom. I wish I knew what he was saying.
Yep.
Whatever. It sounds like it's important. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, for all the questions. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. The question of the week is a little weird, so listen close.
Uh-oh.
All right. What entertainment property do you wish was popular right now so that it could have chances of being skins in games? The Thanos thing that I saw a couple days ago made me think of this. And I was like, how fun is it that Avengers is so popular that Thanos has made its way into Fortnite? What entertainment property do you wish was popular right now so that it could have its chance to be a skin in games?
So one that's not popular.
Right. Mine was what made me think. The Thanos thing made me think of it. And then when I was like, I wonder what I would want as skins. And I was a sucker for the Hunger Games at the time.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And so if Overwatch did Hunger Games themed skins or whatever, I think that would be really dope. If, Hanzo was dressed up as Katniss or something like that, that would be, really fresh. So that was mine. And I was like, because that was, Hunger Games when it came out and the books were out and the movies were coming out, it was it was all you heard about, it felt like.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I feel like if it was out now, then some games might implement some things from Hunger Games.
Oh, that's funny.
But it's not. That star has died out.
Yes.
I want my Overwatch characters to have skins of the characters from Lost.
Oh, wow.
That would be awesome.
Jeez.
Freaking Charlie and
man.
Desmond or whatever his name was.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah.
That would be so funny.
You got Jin and Sun. Was that her name?
That's right. Yep. Jen and Son. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, that's good. Mine would be G.I. Joe, because I think you could reskin, like you could have a Snake Eyes, you could have a, Cobra Commander.
Cobra
Commander.
Cobra Commander.
You could have Zartan. You could have all those guys.
Body massage.
You could.
Nice.
I'm going a little old school 80s, going G.I. Joe.
Nice.
I like that. Chris?
The only thing that I can think that comes to mind, but I don't remember exactly how many characters there were, but the Thundercats.
Oh, yes.
Really liking the Thundercats when I
a little Lion-O, a little Chitara.
Panthro.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Snarf.
Or also another one that would be good too is Masters of the Universe. He-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there you go. Skeletor up in that piece.
Right.
Yep.
So let us know what entertainment property you wish was popular right now so that it might have a chance to have its skins in some games. I know it's a weird question.
That's all right.
It's good, though. I like
a good
it.
one, though.
You're thinking out of the box.
Yeah.
I love it.
It'll be fun. Yeah. Mr. Rogers. I'm just kidding.
King Friday.
You just,
Come in.
meow, meow. You just got Soldier 76 in a freaking cardigan.
Be my neighbor.
His dancing boat is throwing one shoe from one hand to the other.
Putting on a sweater, hanging it up.
Exactly. I'm too old for this.
The monkey is Daniel. He just refuses to hit or shoot anyone.
Why are they shooting at me? Meow, meow.
Oh, my gosh. That's funny. That'd be hilarious.
Oh, that's good.
Let us know. Use hashtag AnswerMTTG. Got to give a shout out to Disney for letting me do this podcast in the middle of this conference hallway.
Mm-hmm.
Well done, sir.
And for not sending me to jail, to Disney jail.
Yeah.
Disney jail.
Which I think I'd be able to bend those bars.
I think you would too.
And man, I got to go on a diet when I get home. I am the chubby ninja. I've been the fat ninja out here at Disney, boy.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Really?
Man.
That's all you do, man. You eat, but here's the thing: you eat and eat, but you sweat it and walk it off in the process.
True. That might be true, but I'm like, if I'm paying $75 for it, I'm having all of it.
Yep, you're gonna eat it.
Exactly. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken, and we are married to the games, and we're out this thing. Bang!